a show that we do twice a week where we talk about all the latest in pop culture news, TV and movie reviews, gaming news, and just the general conversations of the day. For those who don't know me, I'm Price of Reason, and with me as always is my co-host, Professor R2. How's it going, Professor?
Oh well, it's going all right. Very very busy day. You and I had got to talk last night for a bit about some of the really troubling stuff that's been going on over the last few days, and it's still weighing on me a lot, Price. Honestly, just everything that's happened over the last few days, and honestly, I feel like I want to talk about it, and at the same time, I don't want to talk about it anymore. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. It is a complicated thing. I think that yesterday we had a nice, more of a memorial type of thing where
Yeah.
it was more really just recognizing and talking about the weight of what happened. And I think that that's something good that we did yesterday. Today, I think that it's important, and as it also says on the thumbnail, there have been some developments throughout the day through about the investigation itself, and at least on that end, I think that however people feel or how much it's weighing on them, I think that there's one thing that most people are interested in, and I think that most people, at least sane people, want to see the person that did this uh, get caught. Is
Yeah.
that fair to say?
I think that's fair to say. I think most people would prefer to see that whoever it was that responsible for this was caught. There has been a lot of stuff that's been coming out today and investigative wise, where they've been showing off some of the video, some of the individual images, actually showing the suspect does appear from various different angles, that there have been video that's been taken. There's been various different pictures taken from security footage.
And there's this thing that the FBI, I think that's really in the last few minutes something happened. I
Yeah.
think I think it's from the last few minutes that I was watching it. Did you do you know what I'm talking about?
In the last few minutes, no.
There was something like a press conference or whatever it is, or
Yeah,
I
they
don't know if
did.
the
They did have
last.
a press conference earlier this evening. Yes, yeah, the
So I
FBI
don't know if
did
it's the
have that.
last few minutes, but I think
Um,
we can at least look at that
yeah,
and comment on it.
they had some new video that they were showing some different angles of security footage that they had showing the suspected assassin escaping from the area. Um, let's see if I can
Here,
find.
I got
Uh,
something. Let's see if
yeah.
we can look at it.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here today. My name is Hillary Kellner. I am the Communications Director for the Utah Department of Public Safety. This evening, we have FBI Director Patel, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as Commissioner Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor, we'll kick it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight. We appreciate the media and the partnership we have with you in helping us to get information out to the public so that we can catch this assassin and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now. Show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video, and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge and then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. important to note his black T-shirt, his black pants, and appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive T-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs. I mentioned these have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the T-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture. And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again, the T-shirt. Blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to...
Yeah, I think that was the main thing that the people were looking at. There were also other pictures today, being shared. Let's see if I can find something else that there was... people were looking at this photo. This looks like it's enhanced with AI or something.
There have been a few of them that they've been sharing that have been enhanced.
It is rather annoying that this person could have just done all of that he just jumped off the roof, that he was there. I don't know. It's just so disturbing. I mean, and regardless, I hope they catch the person, but just I don't know how to explain it, but this person makes it seem almost too easy.
Yeah, it's disturbing that could happen, and not nearly as disturbing though as some of the absolute ghouls that have been out there today, saying yesterday and today, saying some of the most just disgusting things, trying to blame him for his own death, trying to dismiss his killing, his assassination, just trying to dismiss that by saying, oh well, he said hurtful things to people, he hurt people's feelings. I'm sorry, fuck your feelings. Sorry, Sean, but I screw you. That he used words. He went on campuses and he talked to people. Don't just leave it to just those little 30-second, like, oh, look, he owned a guy sound, bits that you would see on Instagram or anything like that. Watch an entire one of his appearances where he sat down and talked to people. He would go back and forth with them. He would exchange ideas. He would listen to what they had to say. He would say things like, I understand. I can see why you feel that way. That's an interesting perspective. He would talk to people. He would debate with people. And no question, he had some pretty hot takes on some stuff that upset people. But words are not violence. I've posted this basically everywhere that I have some kind of an online presence. Words are not violence. When people equate words with violence, they say, well, he said things that hurt people. No, he used words, and words are the only alternative that we have in our society to violence. And Charlie Kirk himself said this: when people stop talking, when we stop using words, that's when things fall apart. That's when people start using violence. And people who want to equate words with violence are only excusing people who want to use violence against people who use words. That's all they are doing. So anyone, you ever hear anyone say any of that BS? Oh, words are violence, silence is violence. No, violence is violence. And we saw that yesterday. We saw what violence is. Those of us who were unfortunate enough to have actually seen the video of this man's death at the hands of this absolute fucking coward. That's violence against someone who only ever used words. And it's sickening. It's sickening. And I understand why there are so many people out there who are so angry. And there are so many people out there who have feelings they can't even describe. And it's because they see someone like Charlie Kirk, who went out there and used his words and talked to people, was never violent, never called for violence. He used words to talk to people, and sometimes those words made people angry, but that's all they did. They offended people. They made people angry, but that's not violence.
I just want to say that out of all the type of people that we hear when it comes to conservatives and things like that, I don't think that he was the most extreme person. I think he came from a perspective that he was Christian. He had his faith. He had certain things that he believed in, but he also went and had good faith discussions with people about it and debates, and was willing to have dialogues with people. And he seemed like a genuinely open-minded and decent guy, even if he was very passionate about the things that he believed in. He wasn't disrespectful towards others. And you're right. A lot of times you see these kind of little clips from the campus, but you don't see that he actually went and interacted with all these young people and this youth, and everything that he did. And sure, I've told you this before. I'm not now saying that everything that guy said I agreed with, but I don't have to agree with everything he said. People can have different opinions on things, and he went and he wanted to share his opinions with people. And I don't think he went about it in a mean spirited way or in a way that was evil. I think that he had a right to say whatever he thought. And just, there's people, I guess what I'm saying, there's people that act in bad faith, and they have a right to say what they want too. There's plenty of those guys, but I don't think he was a bad faith actor. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. No, he was not. He was out there in good faith talking to people. And that was his crime. And I think that's, again, why so many people are having such a hard time with the feelings that they have surrounding this, is that there's a lot of us, there's a lot of people who are looking at what has happened here and think, if they want him dead, they would happily kill me too.
I mean,
They would happily, if they had the opportunity, take my life just like they did his.
for sure.
And that is a horrifying thing, to realize that there are people out there. And again, Charlie Kirk talked about, he's been talking about this for months now, that there is a growing population, specifically a population on the left, politically here in the US, that believes that violence, political violence against people with ideas that you don't agree with, is to some extent acceptable. 49% of people in a survey said that, yeah, they thought that it would probably be okay if someone used violence against Trump. Yeah, it would probably be okay if someone killed people that they didn't agree with, because they have been radicalized by the media, by all of these voices on the left that keep telling them that their feelings are the most important thing, that if they don't feel safe in some way, that now they are literally in danger, that they are being told over and over that, not metaphorically, not in some manner of speaking. No, they're told literally that we have a president in office who is the reincarnation of Hitler. They're being told this over and over, and it is absolutely no surprise that
Yeah,
people would get something like this into their head, that some mentally unstable psycho would get it in their head to do this type of thing to someone like Charlie Kirk or any one of us.
the mainstream media has so much responsibility in what happened here and what's happening in general. And I agree with you. It's they've created this weird playing field where people now that they think, and especially it happens more on the left and more on the far left, that if they don't agree with somebody, then taking that kind of action seems reasonable to them. And it's so awful. I mean, I can tell you that I've had conversations with people that are more, uh, I don't know, right leaning conservatives, whatever you want to call them. There have been times that we agreed on something, times that we didn't agree. And I always feel like I can have that conversation. I thought that was interesting. I've told you this before, that I kind of see myself as sort of a middle of the road independent guy. Said it probably a million times. But
Mhm.
before coming online and interacting with people, I didn't really know much. You know what I mean? I wasn't really talking to people that much about politics. I didn't really interact in that way with a lot of people. And I was surprised, just because of how I felt about how everything was going with Hollywood and a lot of stuff that I didn't like that was sort of woke. I sort of found myself in conversations with a lot of people who were, I guess, more right leaning or conservative, sometimes not at all, but also people like that. And I was always very pleasantly surprised by the fact that we could all have conversations, and and sometimes there could be an issue that one person feels one way about, and sometimes it would be an issue that somebody feels another way about. And at least the people I interacted with, I had really good conversations about. And I don't see that happening in the left. It's like you have a list of things. You have to say that you like all of those things, that you believe in every single one of them. And if you move away from that thing that they told you to say, you're finished. It's a terrible mentality, and it's something that we've been seeing for years. And I think that what we're seeing now, and maybe it also started even with Trump and the attempt on his life during his campaign, but also what we're seeing now, it's a manifestation of this thing that these young people have been told now for years. And not that it matters now, because it doesn't help to be an "I told you so," but I feel like, because I know you and I have been in these circles for a number of years already, people like us have, in our own way, been sounding the alarm more on the pop culture end, but we've been sounding the alarm for a long time, saying, "Hey, something wrong is going on here." You know, we were
Mhm.
looking at it through the lens of entertainment, but you know what? A lot of these youth, a lot of these young people, when they go see movies, when they go see shows, when they pop culture is important. And when all of that continues to push this kind of messaging, and that's what they grew up on, now we're seeing that generation. We're seeing the manifestation of people that watched all of that messaging.
Yeah. Yeah,
At
without a
least in
doubt.
my opinion, it has something to
No,
do with
no,
it.
I think you're right. I think, we do see people who've now grown up through, through this lens of safetyism and being told that, uh, that if you feel uncomfortable, if your ideas are challenged, if your feelings are hurt, that this is the same thing as literally being unsafe, like that you are in some way being threatened in a way that could be a mortal wound, that could literally harm you, that these 2 things are the same, that having your feelings hurt and literally being physically harmed, that this is the same thing. That's where we get the whole, "Oh, we gotta have safe spaces in colleges and all of this stuff." That's where you get all of these ideas from, is this just rampant safetyism that has stretched so far as to say that if you are challenged in any way, if any thought that you have is not automatically confirmed, if it's not automatically, uh, just embraced by everyone around you, that there is some threat to you, And that is not real. Those are lies that are used for a very specific reason. It's to shut down ideas they don't like. It's to shut down people who say things that they don't agree with. And it's there to, to make sure that if there's going to be an arena of ideas, there's never any ideas allowed that would ever challenge anything they have to say. And if they can put that in place, if they can control that environment, then they can simply decide that any idea that you have, well, that's harmful. And so you can't speak that idea. And that is exactly what Charlie Kirk was fighting against. That's why he was going on college campuses, because that's where this kind of idea was absolutely rampant. These safe spaces and this safetyism, these ideas that words are violence, silence is violence, all of that BS that we've heard for years. He was going on campuses to directly confront the people who have spread, who have allowed these ideas to fester. That's why he went to college campus. He didn't go to other, he showed up in other places, but that's where he went because he knew that's where there were, frankly, the sickest people, the people who needed to hear what he had to say. And it's just so incredibly sad. It's sad for a man of just 31 years of age, had his whole life ahead of him, that has been struck down. A man, again, who only ever used words, to share his ideas, to debate with people, to very effectively persuade people, right? And then on top of that, he's also left behind a widow, two young kids who will never, have a memory of their father. And we have disgusting ghouls on the left and the right. I mean, there's plenty of them out there on the right, the far right, nutsos out there who are saying all sorts of crazy things. Just as many, there's plenty of them out there on the left too, saying some of the most ghoulish things. And it's vile and disgusting. I'm not saying that, it's not the old, don't speak ill of the dead type of thing. No, I'm saying they are saying truly horrible things about somebody who, again, was only a warrior in the arena of words. He was a gladiator who fought with words. He fought with ideas, and they responded to him by taking his life.
I go back to thinking about this because I keep thinking about the fact how in a way I understand him, and on the other hand how he was different for me, because I've had so many arguments with people online, and I know that feeling when you're trying to have just a reasonable argument. You're making good points, you're having a good debate, and when the person sees that, they suddenly start cursing you out, saying the worst things, maybe even like a threat, and then they try to block you and run away. Now I think it's a little more different on X, but do you know what I'm talking about? You must have
I
been through
do.
this in your
Yeah,
life, where you have like
absolutely.
you're making a good faith argument, and somebody just goes off the rails and starts cursing you out, and you're really dealing with like nutcases. And for me, it's easy to have that debate because I'm just sitting here, on some laptop, or I'm using a keyboard to have this kind of debate. He went to places that were hostile himself in person, and what he was essentially doing was trying to break the matrix. He wanted to go there and just start asking them questions and talking to them about his ideas, and maybe at least giving a few people there the feeling that they can have an opinion that maybe is different than what they're being told they all have to kind of bow down to. Now, you can say, well, I didn't agree with all of his opinions, and that's fine. You're never going to find a person that you agree with every single thing they say. Maybe him coming from a more religious background, there were certain things that were important to him, and maybe to another person they wouldn't be as important. But I will say that he seemed like a generally decent guy that his presence was overall positive, and like I said, he was doing this in good faith, and that this person that we see jumping off a roof, that somebody did that, it's just so disturbing. And even if they catch this person, it's not really going to change that, because it's a symptom of a much bigger problem. And yes,
Yeah.
you're right. There have been people celebrating. There's a lot of these kind of game developers that went and started cheering and in all these forums on Blue Sky. It's like it's as if like I don't know. I'm trying to think the equivalent. It's like they all won the jackpot or something. I don't know what are you so happy about? I
Yeah,
think
the TMZ people cheering in the background when they heard that.
disgusting. And you know what? I don't believe those TMZ people. I don't believe that this was a
We were
high-speed chase.
watching a high speed car chase. Yeah, yeah.
I absolutely
Yeah,
do
right.
not believe that they were watching a high-speed chase. I feel like they were cheering because they were happy that he was no longer with us, and they can say whatever excuse they want. I just don't believe it. And the other thing is, it has to be a very rare occasion where you cheer when somebody is no longer with us. I generally think that in general, it's not a good idea. I said this yesterday. It's not a good vibe to cheer somebody, even if it's somebody that you didn't like. It's not a good karma, or I don't know what to call it. You're not supposed to cheer when somebody dies, even sometimes if it's an enemy of yours. Maybe it's not the right energy to put out there. But a guy that was going to college to campuses to talk to some students about his ideas, that and this kind of political hit job, whatever happened here, that is certainly not a cause for celebration. And every single person that thinks that this is great and is celebrating should be ashamed of themselves. I don't care for what reason. I don't care who they voted for or what their ideology. People that they think this is great and they're all celebrating, I think that there's something wrong with them. That worries me the most. And we saw it. Like I said, the writing was on the wall. What happened when the insurance company CEO was killed, and you had a lot of people, they loved it. They love the guy that killed him. They want to support him and give him money because they're so enamored with him. And the fact that we saw that happening and we saw a lot of these other things, it's just so many things have happened over the past several years, and we shouldn't be surprised now. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. And people were asking in the comments, well, if you had power, if you were in a position of power, what would you do now? Honestly, I'm not sure. I mean, how do you take millions and millions of people who have been programmed in the shittiest possible way over the past several years and deprogram them? I'm not sure. Professor, you're in academia. Maybe you have an idea. How do we deprogram them?
Uh, um, oh, geez.
From your experience, is there a way we can?
Some of these people, I don't know if they can be deprogrammed. I genuinely think that some of these people have been taken down a path, where they literally have, uh, very little chance that they are ever going to be able to find their way out of the ideological prison that their mind has been placed in. They have been put in a place now, especially some of these people who have accepted these ideologies and now have modified their bodies, shall we say? Um, done things, cut off healthy parts of their bodies, gone through various things. They are essentially, they are now part of a cult. They have been programmed and manipulated into a cult, and actually deprogramming them, getting these ideas out of their heads is going to be virtually impossible, because they have committed, they have committed themselves to this path in ways that, if they were to change their minds, if they were to suddenly have some sort of awakening and realize what they have done and what they have allowed to be done to them, uh, will likely take their own lives. They'll Minecraft themselves, right? I mean, this is where they are left. You know, that's not to say it can't happen. There are people that wake up. There are people that realize these things, and eventually they're able to rectify what has happened. As to what could be done, uh, Charlie Kirk was the one doing that. Charlie Kirk was out talking to these people and sharing with them his love, his passion, his ideas, and doing everything he could to use words and persuasion to try to help some of these people who have, genuinely, some of them are victims. They've been victimized by the media. They've been victimized by many, different parts of our culture. They've been victimized by TikTok and all of these other things to be, to become what they have become. And many of them will continue down this path for the rest of their lives. And sadly, some of those lives are probably going to be very short because it is a path that leads to a lot of darkness and a lot of self-loathing, and it's not a pretty picture for a lot of these people. They're very sick. They're very disturbed. And in this case, one of these sick, disturbed individuals decided to take a path of, taking vengeance out on someone else. And we've seen this. We saw this with the church shooting not long ago, and with somebody who had gone down this path, gone down through this cult like, uh, you know, stuff that's happening over on the left, and had bought into all of this stuff. And we also saw the letters that just disturbed young man left behind saying, "Yeah, I made a mistake. I realized finally that I can't actually become a woman. That actually can't happen. And all of these promises that were made, all of these things that I was told by all of these people, it was all lies." And so again, this was someone who was left with very, very few options, very few
Well,
places to go for help.
the problem is, and I think that this is the part that everybody ignores, and I start thinking about something like even Matt Walsh's movie. I know some people may agree with him, may like him, not like him, but he had a movie about that whole situation. It's called, I think, that "What Is a Woman" movie, and he brings a lot of doctors and experts and people that are saying that giving these young people these type of hormones or whatever it is, this is a very risky endeavor. It's something that you could really be harming them, and I think that I don't want to just say that every single person like that is all one of those shooters or whatever it is, but I'm saying, and I don't know who this person is that did this specific thing, but I'm just saying that I think that men were meant to be men, and women were meant to be women, and doing all these strange things to men to try to make them more like women, sometimes maybe you're kind of driving them off the deep end. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah, I do.
You're causing,
Yeah,
people are like, "Oh, what about mental health?" I think this is causing mental health issues in some cases.
yeah,
I I I
or exacerbating them, making things worse. Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Um,
claim to be a doctor or an expert. Maybe somebody will come with an, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about," and that's all fine. I don't know. I just know that this whole ideology of just telling everybody that they could be whatever they wanted to be, and they could just do whatever they want. I don't think that this was a good ideology. Prior to the past maybe 5 years or 7 years or whatever it was, there was a very, very, very small portion of the population, we're talking like 0.0 something percent, that fell into this category. It was a very, very rare thing. And it was something that if somebody did it, it wasn't something widespread. The fact that they tried to make this something that it's like widespread is just, until now, I actually can't believe that this happened. Because let's put it this way, I'm sure that a lot of these kids, were pushed into this, and had you given them more time to just grow organically and naturally, they probably wouldn't have done this. You look at some of these celebrities. I don't want to. I don't want to say even her name. There's that one that has like 3 kids that they're all like, I think it's 3 boys that are now girls or something, and they all seem like they're very young. It seems strange. It's highly unlikely that all 3 of them made that conversion. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's extremely unlikely. This is something that's being pushed. Um, yeah. I don't know. I do want to address something in the Rumble chat real quick. We got a lot of people joining us tonight because we have been placed on the front page. I want to make sure that something is very clear. We don't want more political violence. I don't want political violence on the left. I don't want political violence on the right. I don't want political violence from the center or from anyone else. I do not want anyone targeted for their political ideals. I don't want anyone targeted for words that they may have used or bills that they may have voted for. Violence is not the answer. Violence is only going to make things worse. I don't care. I understand you're having a lot of feelings about what has happened. Some people want to try and blame people. They want to try and blame a movement. They want to try and say that one side or the other side or whatever is to blame for all of this, all of that, whatever. There's plenty of very unnecessary calls for violence and stuff to go around. And yes, we do, and have mentioned some of the very significant things that have been said by left-leaning media in recent years. But just because they're going low like that, and they say things like this and crank up this rhetoric does not mean that we need to do the same thing. Okay. That is not the answer. That is not going to fix things. We do not need any more political violence. What we need more of are words. What we need more of are Charlie Kirks. We need more people out there who are willing to sit down with people that they don't agree with and have conversations. Because when we stop seeing each other as human beings, that is when things fall apart. We cannot go down that road where we stop seeing each other as people, where we stop seeing each other as human beings. Are there people with some pretty messed up ideas? Are there people who are, caught up in cult-like ideologies? Absolutely. And those people need to be, need to be addressed. They need to be talked to. They need to be dealt with by, by the systems that we have in place for that kind of thing. But, you know, to be calling for violence, as a response to violence, that's not okay. That's not right. I'm sorry. We do have a couple of super chats. We've got Rumble rants. So
Let's start
let's
with
get to those real quick.
Istafobos, with friend of the channel Istafobos.
Hey, Phobos.
The Dems are pissed. The Euro used point 3006 because it doesn't play into their gun control agenda that they've recently renamed gun safety in another bullshit PR move. I'm trying to understand. That's like, is that like a hunting gun? Like it's a hunting rifle? What is it?
Yes, yeah, it was.
I'm trying
It
to
was a
understand what he
hunting.
means
It's a
about
hunting
the,
rifle.
right, but
Yeah,
how does
yeah.
it play into their? Doesn't play into their
Well,
agenda?
because it's not an assault rifle, right?
Yes.
It's not a scary gun, and so it doesn't play into the gun control narrative. It is a I mean it's a serious weapon. It's not a it's not somebody's air rifle or something. It's a serious weapon. But it's not the kind of scary gun that some people would like to call on to say, well, let's, more gun control or whatever. That's what he's saying. That's yeah.
I don't. And this person, he just one shot and then left.
Yep. Well, he had more than one bullet.
Right. He had apparently 4 or something. And
yeah. Yeah. Oh, excuse me for a sec.
And then we have free speech for life. Maybe we should just skim through the BlackRock commercials. I'm sure this idiot isn't one. Seems to be the trend. It is strange that other one was in that commercial.
Yeah.
Don't really know what to tell you. I'm not a fan of BlackRock. Not sure how they became a thing, but not my favorite for sure. And you said there were super chats. So are we looking at the YouTube now?
Yeah, there were two Rumble rants, and then there is also a super chat. Yes.
Okay, I'll get to that now. Okay. So there is the Dead Man. Thank you, the Dead Man. Always supporting what we do here, and I appreciate that. Let me try to share what he did. Always the best technology here at the Night Owl, for those who don't know. And then I want to share the screenshot. I am Charlie Kirk. And that is a very, very nice comment.
If you'll remember when the political assassinations happened at Charlie Hebdo
Right.
in France some time ago, that was sort of the cry. Then Je suis Charlie. We are Charlie. We are all Charlie. So yeah, that is I am Charlie Kirk. I want to be as good, as strong, as fearless as Charlie Kirk was. I think a lot of people wish that they were as strong of a person as Charlie Kirk was.
Because I've told you this, we're all very, very smart, like, quote unquote, very smart and very confident. We sit, on Twitter and online and on streams and in chats, and we say our ideas. That's a completely different thing than to actually go out in the field and to have one-on-one conversations with people. He was, in that sense, he was fearless, and I think that does require courage to go around in places that in many cases they don't want you there, or there's a lot of hostility towards you, and say, you know what, I'm going to get there. I'm going to change their mind. I'm going to have conversations with them. I'm going to open their eyes to maybe think of different ideas, in spite of how they feel about me. And it again, you don't have to agree with all of his opinions. You don't have to like the guy, not like him. I think that on that level of a guy that was enthusiastic about his own beliefs and opinions, and he wanted to go and to talk to people about it, no matter how hostile the environment was. I'm really appreciative of that. I think that is actually a positive thing. And this doesn't matter if you're on the left or right or independent, in the middle, whatever it is. Somebody like that's wants to go in good faith and talk with people. That's great. That's what we should all be striving for. And I think it's terribly, terribly sad that a guy like that met his end in the way that he did. Under those circumstances, it just feels like, nobody deserves. It's not that people deserve to die or anything like that, but he certainly didn't deserve what he got. And the fact that you see people celebrating and cheering, I personally think that those people that are celebrating and cheering at the moment, you saw a lot of things where people were like showing the companies that they work for, here, this is who you hired. I think that those people, if they lost their jobs, if they really got punished for that kind of behavior, I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. Generally, just so you know, it's not that I like cancel culture, but this is not a cancel culture situation. This is, you're celebrating a guy that died that didn't do anything to you. You're just a terrible person. So
yeah.
To me, it's terrible. I don't know what could be more terrible.
It's awful. Yeah, to celebrate him, it's as I kind of jokingly said, yes, it was a horrible day, but it was definitely a good day for my Twitter feed because there were a lot of people that I got to block because I found out how awful, terrible, disgusting human beings they were. And this happens every now and then. There's an event like this that brings out the truly evil people who would say truly evil things about someone in the event of their death. And yeah, so
I don't want to
yeah,
play those TikTok videos, but I did sit. There was
no,
like,
yeah,
yesterday, maybe 30 minutes that I saw some of those TikTok videos going around of people that are celebrating. And man, it made me sad. It's not, it's beyond angry. It made me sad that you see people celebrating like this. It just, that they're doing something wrong, but the fact that they're so oblivious to it and that they're actually, a lot of, people are telling them, yes, it's great what you're doing. You should do that. That there's so many millions of people, like you've said, that think that this is a worthy cause for celebration. I think that that's the issue. Free speech for life. Other one, both of the main Trump uh, attempted deleters we know about were in BlackRock commercials, not just
oh,
one. Were
I
they
didn't
both
know
in
about
it?
the other one.
I
I
didn't know
didn't
about the other one. I
know.
knew
I
that
knew
one
about
was
the
in
one
it.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah, one of them was in that commercial. Can't say anything. Free speech for life. Also, note that the date stamps on some articles about Charlie's uh, unalivingation were written the day before his death. I'm not sure it's been debunked, but that was on Infowars. I'm sure that a lot of things are gonna surface over the next few weeks, months, and who knows, maybe even years. But the one thing that's important to me, I can't at this point. I don't even know to speak for other people, but I really want them to catch whoever did this. Whoever is in that video,
yeah,
I hope they catch that person. Not that I think that person, there's nothing that they can do that'll be as bad as what that person did. I mean, even if the person gets the death penalty or whatever it is, I still think that, I don't know. It's even that, I don't know if it'll be true justice.
yeah. I mean, uh, yeah, nobody knows what will happen. Obviously, there's lots of people making assumptions, saying things, oh well, we'll never catch up to him because they will take themselves out or whatever before we have a chance to catch
It's
them, try them,
possible, yeah.
whatever.
They may do
I
that.
mean, this is possible. We don't know these kinds of things, right? Uh we we can't predict the future. You can try to. You can try and play the game of, "Oh, well, we all know how this turns out," whatever. We don't know the future, and things can happen that we don't expect. Things can happen that we can't predict. Yes, obviously, there are patterns that many of us see in how a lot of these types of things happen, but, that's not uh, that doesn't mean that things couldn't be better this time, right? And to give in to that sort of despair and just say, "Oh, well, it's always happens this way. This is how it's gonna work." That's really sad, I think, honestly, to have to give in to that kind of despair, to just assume that, that nothing can ever work out. No good can ever come of anything. No, that there's no way we could catch somebody. I don't know. Go ahead and read the chats you brought up there.
Elizabeth Quince, thank you at Professor Artu and Price for doing this show. Said before, aside from one girlfriend who was getting ready to leave the U.S. herself, you guys have become my last connection to America. Sad, smiley. Well,
Yeah,
I don't really know all the circumstances. I know you currently don't live in the U.S., and I don't recall all the circumstances, but I haven't given up on the U.S. I hope that there'll be a better time than the one that we're in now. And like I said, there's a matter of deprogramming. So much damage has been done to a certain generation, and I'm not 100% sure how to fix it.
Man, I don't know that we can, other than what we do price. Just sitting down and talking to each other, and talking to the people in our chat when as we can, and having having conversations. I think that's really the only answer. Um, Man, yeah, well, some of our regulars in the Rumble chat are, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in here. Yeah, well, some people say the chat is going off the walls. Well, we're not used to having quite so many people in the chat. We are glad so many people here, have decided to join us. But yeah, there's some interesting conversations happening over there. Things kind of happening all over the place. Um, you know,
Sometimes there's a lot of people and they're arguing
yeah,
about a lot of things, and we
yeah,
can't really do much about that, but we can only say what we believe in.
okay,
And I'm looking, I'm trying to even understand how all of this started, but there's a lot of strange things going on here. In any
yeah.
case,
There's some people that need to be timed out for a little bit, so maybe they can chill.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
I understand.
I've
I
already had
get
to boot a couple of people for some incendiary BS that they're over here spouting. So yeah, we can try
ugh.
and deal with that. Yes.
No, I mean, the thing is that freedom of speech is important, but there is a moment where you can see that a person just arrived in a chat to just do a bunch of trolling and
Hmm.
to just annoy everybody. And in that case, if it's not like good faith, we were talking about good faith debating. If it's a person that you can clearly tell is not here in good faith, it becomes you know,
Yeah.
it's less fun to continue. Free speech for life. I believe the blood is on the hands of the oligarchs and fake news. They created this problem. It's a tool to them. I agree with you. There are too many people that thought that this would be a good thing, that this would help them. There's no shortage of annoying people, and and there's a lot of also people that are brainwashed. I've said this before, and I think I've told you this recently, at least once, that I know somebody that's more left leaning, and I had a conversation with them, and they're not actually extreme or far left or anything like that, but I could really tell how much, and this has happened to me actually with a number of people, how much they're sort of programmed to just say things that it surprises me because it goes against logic. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they'll say
Hmm.
it's become in some cases. Maybe this happens on the right too. Sometimes I just feel it's more extreme on the left for some reason. I that being supporting a political party, it's become like you're supporting your own soccer team or basketball team or football team or something like that. And sometimes when you're a supporter of a team and you're really kind of enthusiastic and you're all in, you'll protect your team. Your team will do something wrong. Some guy will do a foul. You'll be like, nope, wasn't a foul. You know what I'm saying? Like it'll defy the logic just so you can support your team because you want your team to win. And I feel like some of that has happened within within political parties. That in some cases, people are just like, I have to support the team no matter what. And I will say that I think on the right, or people that are in the middle or independent or on the right, are more free thinkers. I think that they're more free to even have conversations amongst them and disagree about certain things and even argue. And within the left, it really does feel like there's a list, you download it, and you have to agree immediately,
Hmm.
and that's how you support your team. You
Yeah.
have to say that's how in California, if there were elections now, Gavin Newsom would get elected again. Even if all of California was burning, even if the worst things happened under his watch, they will all go and vote for him again because there's a lot of Democrats there, and they were told that they have to vote for him, and they've downloaded those instructions, and now they have to execute them.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like to me. I
It's
don't know.
uh,
Resterly says, "Is there
yeah.
anyone left in California?" Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's some people there.
Yeah.
Heather Mariella says, "My mother-in-law is a lib. Can't even argue a single point with logic or facts, just feelings." Yeah, I run into that more and more, and this is something that I won't forget. That maybe this is a number of years ago already, and I think that it was before Biden was even running again. I think that he was the president, but every time I looked at him, he looked like he wasn't doing too well. And I said to someone who was more left leaning, I said, this Biden thing, I don't think he doesn't look so good when you see him on camera. It looks like there's something wrong with him. I don't know. I don't think he should run. This is before all the Clooney stuff. I said, I don't think this man should run again for anything. And the person that was the more left leaning person said, "Oh, you're an ageist." They had all these things to say to me. I'm like, "No, look at him.
Hmm.
Look at him. Like there's something wrong with him. You wouldn't want him to run again. No, all this stuff was said to me, and the everything I said was 100% true. And the only way you have this kind of argument with a person is that the person is just blindly following whatever they were told.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah.
not saying I don't
Yeah.
think that the right are immune to following somebody maybe or being forgiving towards somebody that's on their side. But my experience tells me that there's more of a difference in opinion and more people having a dialogue more on the right and in the center. The left have become something that you just it's very hard to have a conversation with him. And that kind of brings us back to what Charlie Kirk was trying to do. Like his opinions or not, the fact that he wanted to do this kind of outreach, that he wasn't afraid to do it, that he had the courage to go and speak to people, that he was so enthusiastic, and that he overall, I don't think he was a bad person. People that met him from different walks of life, actually, he made a good impression on them. Uh, so yeah, I think that that's part of the tragedy of all of this. But and the ending is what you said, that not only was it a guy that was trying to reach out and talk to people, even people that he disagreed with, uh, all those people that he disagreed with, or a lot of them, are out there celebrating, including, in some cases you had actually public figures, in some cases just people, everyday people that are celebrating. Uh, it's difficult. There's been just so much going on in the past 24 hours that it's difficult to process all of this. But to kind of steer us away a little bit from this, did you see the stuff that was happening with South Park? I made a video about it on my other channel.
Yeah, I actually didn't get to watch it. Like I said, a crazy busy day today, but yeah, I saw that you had posted a video about that. So yeah, they have taken down an
Okay,
episode.
so
They've pulled an episode.
I'm going to share
Yeah.
this here. I don't know how I got this. I don't even know what this website is, but it does have the article. So basically, Comedy Central, if you remember South Park, one of their last few episodes, they had something with Charlie Kirk that, they had Cartman sort of having the same haircut as Charlie Kirk and going to college campuses and having debates with students. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So they had that episode, and I guess on the day of what happened yesterday, they had a scheduled rerun to rerun that episode. And obviously, with whatever happened, they pulled the plug on it, and they said, "Okay, we're not." They didn't even make an announcement; they just didn't air it. They put another episode in its place, so they never aired that episode. And people were like, "Wow, they pulled the episode from cable." I mean, it makes sense to me that on the day of, they didn't feel it was appropriate. Objectively, I think that's fair enough. When I looked on the on the streaming platform on Paramount Plus, that thing was still there as of earlier today. I don't know if it's been removed, but as of earlier today, that episode with Charlie Kirk was still on Paramount Plus. They hadn't removed it. So the question is, if they're going to moving forward, they're going to remove it or not. I was saying in my video that I actually researched this, and I saw videos of Charlie Kirk really getting a kick. He was sitting there watching the episode with some friends, and he gave a reaction, and he seemed to really have a good laugh about it, and not in a fake way. He looked like he was genuinely laughing at what he was watching. He also used the Cartman image as his profile picture for a little bit when it came out, and he sat there and he said that he thought it was hilarious, and that he also even said that he gives credit to the writers, I guess to Trey and Matt, that he felt that they actually did their homework, that they studied what he was saying, and they brought a few little things that he said, and he thought that it was funny. He sat there and was genuinely laughing. So I thought to myself, if the guy was a good sport about it, and he thought that this kind of satire was fair game, and actually you see him laughing and really genuinely being amused by it. I don't think, because there are people that are saying they have to remove it. I think that if he didn't feel that way about it, I don't necessarily see the harm in it. At the same time, what I will say about South Park is what you and I have been talking for a while, that this season they've gone so hard into the kind of TDS anti-right sentiment that it's kind of exhausting. Now, if they were doing like a equal offender type of situation, and they're making fun of everybody, well, that's perfectly fine. But the fact that they're just leaning into one side so much, and that's especially, and I said this in my video, for the past 5 years, there was certainly a lot to laugh about when it came to Biden and Harris, but they never told one joke. They treated them with kids' gloves.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
suddenly, Trump is back, and all day and all night, like, their episodes are about him. It's almost like that kind of Stephen Colbert TDS effect. And I don't say that lightly, because South Park is a show that I genuinely, especially I'd say in the first 10 seasons, loved that show. Later throughout the years, there were hit and miss episodes. I didn't love everything they did, but generally speaking, I still was able to enjoy the show. This thing that they've done now, I feel like it's not typical to the kind of satire they did, and I don't think it's great for the show. With all of that being said, that episode with Charlie Kirk, the parts with Charlie Kirk, with Cartman as Charlie Kirk, I didn't think they were overly offensive. What did you think about them?
No, I didn't think they were overly offensive. I mean, obviously, it's intended to be satire, and when we are if it's a difference between, let's have fun at somebody's expense, let's have a little fun with somebody's shtick, and genuinely, that this was Charlie Kirk's thing, and he owned it, right? Was going to campuses and talking to people, having some fun with that, and laughing about it is not harmful. That is that is having a conversation. It's comedy is about sometimes exposing some of the absurdity that we have in society, and at the same time, putting a mirror up to ourselves and to some of the people who get so upset about something, and realizing that, wow, maybe it's not actually as bad as we thought, right? The comedy is supposed to be that that pressure valve to help remove some of these some of this stress, some of these really frustrating feelings that we have sometimes. I'm not even sure what I'm trying to say. Just that I think Charlie, and I think the indications were he actually found this to be kind of amusing, right? He
Yeah,
thought it
let
was
me
kind of
see.
funny
I want to try
that
to.
they were doing his hairdo, right? And they were having the little conversations. Then they were having the stuff where he was messing with the people that he saw, that he was talking to, and they did show that Cartman had some very selfish motivations behind behind the whole
Right.
thing.
I want to show you. I'm going to try to show from this thing just a little bit of his reaction. I hope that's okay. I hope I'm not making people sad, but I just thought,
these are his words. He yes, he's gone now. He was here with us, and he had important things to say. I don't have a problem
all right, let's see what he said.
seeing what he had to say.
Stupidest haircut I've ever seen. First of all, I just think it's hilarious.
So
and
good.
secondly, the whole thing is like, wait, so a campus thing I've been doing for 13 years to debate random college kids has now been so important that it gets prominent primetime placement on Comedy Central. I think the whole thing is just awesome and hilarious. There's so much more I want to say about this, but the whole shtick, by the way, Comedy Central, South Park, you crushed the water. I compulsively drink water on campus. It's like, okay, boom, we got to stay hydrated. Now the lozenges, we got to work a little. And by the way, the Holy Bible right next to it. I even said on this campus tour, I was going to bring a Holy Bible with me to every single campus stop. Andrew, you're just, what's on your mind? I got to be honest. That clip was hilarious.
So that doesn't look like a person to me who's upset or taking it in a bad way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was amused by it, right? Again, it's comedy, it's humor, it's poking fun at us and at ourselves. I don't I do not have respect for people who get angry when there's kind of, this humorous stuff that goes on. People that have no ability to actually laugh at themselves. Honestly, this is one of the things I don't like about Trump. I don't think that he is very good at having the ability to laugh at himself, to look at some of the things that he does or says or whatever, that he can actually. It's he has moments when he'll find something that somebody does that at his expense, when he might have a laugh at it or something or shake it off, but most of the time he gets really worked up, he gets really defensive, and it's when people can really like just look and laugh at themselves, and that's not to say that sometimes some things like this couldn't be actually hurtful when people do they some things like this, sometimes they're not in good faith, they're not intended to be something to actually sort of have a laugh with somebody. They're very pointed and nasty. And then I get it. I get why people would take those very personally. But I did not see this as something personally attacking Charlie Kirk, and clearly Charlie Kirk did not see it that way either. He thought it was funny. Had a good laugh.
Just the final thing here. I like that. I think that this made him laugh too. That they had in the episode, they had something called the Charlie Kirk Awards for Young Master.
Sorry, you should have just cut it right there. The rights actor is a huge mistake, and the lesbians are an abomination of God. It's like when you go 10 to 15%, a little bit beyond. And credit to the writers, they know my stuff. Like, I've kind of been known for saying the Civil Rights Act was a mistake, and they just push it a little bit more. And honestly, I was like, credit to you guys. I think that's absolutely hilarious. We have a minute here. Blake, do you want to riff on that super quick?
Let's put up. I think it's 408. I want the image they have. It was hard to see in the clip. They have the little Charlie Kirk Award, which is his.
We're gonna make that
there. I really want us to make that.
We're producing this.
Oh.
We should start giving them out at CLS.
So this looked like a guy who really was a good sport, and he saw it, and he thought this was funny. This doesn't look like he was pretending to think it was funny. I think that he legitimately thought this was funny. Professor?
I do. I think he legitimately was very much amused by this. He like you could see him. He was laughing. He was like, "Yep, okay." They took something that I said, and they took it just a little further. They they twisted just a little bit, and that was and he found that to be funny. Obviously he did not see this as hurtful. He did not see this as pointed and vicious and nasty, right? He was having a laugh right along with it, and thought that clearly they had gotten a lot of his mannerisms and the constantly drinking water and stuff like that. They had everyone there, and including Charlie, was having a funny fun time with it. So
For sure.
Yeah.
We have some Rumble rants. Free speech for life. We need to know where to place the blame, though. It's not the psychos doing the crimes, it's the ones that created them. Let's be smart about this. We need to focus our anger on the actual perpetrators. I think that at least part of it, and this is the only thing, there's a lot of things. It probably has to do with education. Some of it has to do with culture. Some of it has to do with pop culture, which is things that we've dealt with. I can only say about the thing that I think that I know more about than some of these other things. You know more about education than I do, but I think that when it comes to pop culture, people, I keep thinking about this, how over the years, every time there was a movie that made men look bad and they were trying to say that there's all these kind of divisive ideologies, like the message that they were pushing in there. And I think, Professor R2, you've been in this circle with me for a long time. We were very early to sound the alarm. And so many people dismissed what we were saying. And when I say so many people, I'm talking also about even those kind of Fox News and these kind of right-wing pundits today that are very prominent. We used to say that kind of stuff, and everybody used to dismiss us, whether it's on the right or on the left. People said, "What do you care? It's a space movie with wizards. What do you care if they made the man look bad and they're promoting all these ideologies? Nobody cares. It's just some movie with this. What do you care? It's just a superhero movie. What do you care? It's just a movie about this. It's just a show about this. What do you care? It's just this." And that, and then the next thing you know, all the different things you saw in pop culture, every single movie, every single TV show, every single video game, every single comic, every single thing you saw was all that. And only at the end, when it turned out that all this damage was done, that were for several years, this at least was a tool to brainwash people. It's not the only tool, but it is a tool and a significant one. Only after all the damage was done do you see all those kind of, like, I don't have anything against her. I'm just throwing out because I always think about this, like those kind of Megyn Kellys or even those type of Matt Walsh or whatever pop up. They popped up at some point and maybe they said the right things, but they weren't there from the start. Do you get what I'm saying, Professor?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people today that have a lot to say, but they weren't there saying it when they needed to. So that frustrates me
Yeah.
sometimes. It's nothing personal against the people I just said. I'm just saying that it would have been nice if in those early days, because I remember that kind of feeling of our ideas being dismissed. I even think about it in my own, personal life. People that knew me, that knew that this was bothering me, and they're like thinking that I'm crazy. They're like, "What do you care about this? What do you care?" That's not even only on the internet. People were saying that to me, like, I'm the crazy lunatic. And I wasn't the crazy lunatic. I just understood that if this is happening on the level that it's happening, then it's a big red flag. For me, I thought to myself, if the biggest studio in the world is taking the most popular IPs in the world and transforming them into some kind of propaganda tool to push these very divisive ideologies, and nobody's saying a word, this is a major crisis. I understood it. You understood it. Most of the world didn't.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I don't know. Sorry, free speech for life. I don't even know if that's what you were asking. Sorry about that. Gavin is tied to the Getty family, the Brown family, and his aunt is Nancy Pelosi. Their family has been old money for hundreds of years. California's elections are illegitimate. Gavin is illegitimate. Listen, I'm no fan of his. I actually think that at least some people in California are just brainwashed. Whatever that ticket says, Democratic, they'll vote for it. It's the same thing in New York, and we'll get to that in a second, because today is 9/11, and or maybe we're already after 9/11, or in some places it's still 9/11. But I think it's so strange that New York is about to elect a guy that I think it's strange that after 9/11, this is the guy that they're electing. Is that a bad thing for me to say?
Yeah.
It's a bad thing for me to say? I said something bad?
No, I know what you mean. I'm just the that a city that experienced something as traumatic as 9/11 after so many years would even consider someone like Mamdani as oh Lord as being their new mayor is just unbelievable, right? It's hard to even comprehend.
Let's see for a second. So California's elections are illegitimate. Time to wake up. Listen, I don't know what they do in their election. Here at Price of Reason Studios, I don't know what happens in the California elections, but at the same time, I will say that I know that people, at least some of them, blindly vote for that guy. I've seen it. I know that happens. As dumb as that sounds. Free speech for life. If all America had its Second Amendment rights as written in the Constitution, Charlie would be alive, and so many others. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
Professor, do you have any thoughts about that?
In most places, the Second Amendment is not abridged in any significant way that prevents people from from being able to obtain firearms. There are definitely issues in some places. Utah would not really be one of them. Uh, eh, and no, I don't think we need to live in a country where everyone walks around strapped all the time. I don't necessarily think that's the option either. But yeah, clearly there are also a lot of very violent acts that potentially could have been stopped by someone else who was armed. So yeah, it's a difficult thing to say that, yeah, if everyone was just strapped, suddenly this would be a much safer place. I don't know about that. I really don't. But at the same time, I think that the people who are on they're on the left, right? They're the ones screaming about gun control, this, gun control, that, whatever. Guess what? You know what president didn't enforce gun laws? Whose Department of Justice didn't enforce the gun laws that are on the books and prosecuted fewer people for gun violations than previous presidents? It was Barack Obama.
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
So if you want to say, oh, we need more laws, guess what? They're not even enforcing the laws that are on the books. So are more laws going to fix it? Kind of doubt it.
I don't know either. But Free Speech for Life says you will never convince me that the elections in California are legitimate. I live here. I wouldn't rule anything out. I don't really know what to tell you. At least some of the problem, and this is just because I've seen it, there are people that are brainwashed. Now, it could be that you'll say, well, you know what? Not all of them are brainwashed and something doesn't add up. There's nothing that I'd say that I'd never believe. I don't have. If that's the case, then it's done in a way that I don't know how to prove it, even though I'm not dismissing your sentiments on it. There have been strange things that happened. Strange things have certainly happened during history and with voting as well. So it's not that I'm saying that it could never happen. I just don't have enough information to say that it did. But if you live there and you feel that way, I'm not dismissing your feelings either. And I thank you for all the generous super chats tonight.
Yep.
Free Speech for Life gave $1, $1, $1, $5, 10. So it's already 10, 11, 12, 14, 16. He gave $16 until now. Thank you very much. Very, very kind of you.
Yeah.
And man, I wanted to say that like we can uplift our mood and talk about something more positive, but the next thing on our list is remembering 9/11.
Why don't we skip over that? Let's get to something that's not even on the list today. I want to get your thoughts on this. All right.
Okay.
To kick in and tell me, because I found this on top of all of the other stuff going on today and all of the other conversations. I found this absolutely fascinating, and I want to get your take on this, Bryce. Today, we saw Warner Brothers shares spike after David Ellison reportedly has said that they are putting together a bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery.
You know what it means? Do you know what that means, Professor?
Yeah.
It means that I am awesome and that all the different people that were telling me a bunch of nonsense and crap were wrong. And I was right. This proves that I was right. Because what was I saying? I initially was saying that it's important for public perception, for investors and shareholders to see that this company is doing well no matter what. And I was also saying that they have a lot of debt and they have to show that these IPs are strong. DC is an important IP. It's high profile. I said this in my videos, and they're going to go through to great lengths to do the PR surrounding it, to push this as this huge success, no matter what, by any means necessary. This is stuff that I've been saying in my videos. Now, when I see this, it actually enforces everything that I'm saying. Because if Zaslav is thinking to himself, I want to sell this thing, he's a businessman. He wants to sell it for the most he can. If he sold it and DC was a flop, that would at least influence some of the bottom line, not all of it. It would influence some of the bottom line. Instead, he wants to show he has this strong IP. You know what I mean? There's a lot of good stuff happening. There's good numbers. There are good things going on. And I feel like that's why this is so important to him, to try to make this look like a big win, a bigger. I don't even want to say a bigger win than what it is, because I don't think it's much of a win, but I'm saying that's why it's important for him to show that it's a big win. And it's articles like this that give me the feeling that I was right about everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
because I guess the final thing,
Yeah.
who would frantically spend so much money on PR to pretend that something that didn't do all that well did spectacular? Only a guy that's trying to get money from another guy. And now Larry Ellison, David Ellison's father, he is now, I think, overtaken Elon Musk as the richest man in the world with his Oracle or whatever it is that he does, with his AI. I don't know what it is that now gave him that bump. But they're like on a streak now. They have a ton of money to spend. This David Ellison guy, I don't even know if he could, nothing personal. Maybe he's great, but I don't know what a great manager he is. It's not that I don't know if he did such great things with Skydance, but he certainly has the financial backing. And if Paramount are preparing some kind of deal, it means that they have the backing to do it. I don't know if the deal is going to go through, but it also shows something about Warner Brothers' mentality. I think that David Zaslav at this point is open to talking about a deal. Didn't he recently split up Warner Brothers and Discovery again?
No, I don't know. I wondered, is it?
I think there was something that he said that he wanted to split Warner Brothers and Discovery. At the beginning, they were two different companies, then they became one company. Suddenly wanted to split them.
Yeah. I think I do remember said something.
Here it says, despite
Zaslav.
WBD's plan to split into two companies, Warner Brothers comprising studios and streaming, and Discovery Global including TV networks and Discovery. Here's what I think is happening. This is just my theory. Basically, Zaslav had Discovery. Discovery was doing great for him. He was the king of reality for like the Midwest or whatever it is. His channels were making a ton of money. His whole system was making a bunch of money for him. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers was losing money. And I think that in his mind, he was thinking, what if now it was Warner Brothers Discovery and I was at the top of that pyramid? Now I'm not just some reality TV guy. I'm like Hollywood royalty now. I think, though, that once he did that move, perhaps after a number of years of doing this, maybe it's not as exciting as this man thought it would be. Maybe he's not getting the kind of respect that he thought he would get. And maybe he's not 20 years old. He's thinking like a businessman. He wants money and he's prepared to move on. It is possible that Paramount may only buy maybe it also buy Discovery. I don't know, possibly. But maybe they only want to buy the Warner Brothers part.
Yeah.
And maybe they leave Zaslav.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they leave him to it.
Yeah, they leave him what he had before, which is Discovery. He goes back to doing that. If he's a smart businessman, which I'm sure he is, he's going to turn all of this around in a sense of he's going to walk out of here with a ton of money and what he came here with. He's going to be richer than he was when he started this whole venture. He'll get his Discovery back, or maybe he doesn't even care. Maybe he sells them Warner Brothers and Discovery and just retires, and he gets such a big mountain of billions and billions of dollars that he doesn't care. It's also possible. Anything is possible. Zaslav is a businessman. I don't see him the same way as like an Iger that I think forever. Iger wants to sit there and be the CEO like in Disney and do all of his stupid politics and crap. I think that in the case of Zaslav, he's more of a businessman. And if there's enough money that he can put in his pocket and leave, I have a feeling that he would consider it.
Yeah. Let's see here. Man, Rumble's really getting out of control. Price, can you hop over there? Can you open it up and can you mod a couple of people over there for me?
Oh, sure,
so
sure.
we can try and get things under control. Istphobos is over there. He's already modded over on YouTube. You can throw him a mod. We got a few other regulars that are hanging out over there
Is he a mod on
with us
Rumble
as well.
too?
He's not. He's
How do
not.
I
So
make him a
yeah,
mod?
I think you can click on his name and choose it from there, or you can choose it from maybe the drop down menu over on the side. I think I'm the only mod over there. Why don't you mod Phantom Monk while you're at it too? He's a regular over there.
I
Got
wish
a
I
real
knew
level
how.
head.
How do I do it?
I think if you find them in chat, you can't click on their names like we do on YouTube. You'll hover over their names, and there's the 3 dots over to the right.
Yeah, I click on it, but there's nothing that says shoot, account options. Let's see if I can add
Maybe you have to do it on the back end. I haven't
it's
actually done any modding on Rumble before.
moderators. Okay.
Yeah.
Enter a
Yeah,
username.
Get Istphobos and Phantom Monk. Phantom Monk says he's in.
Istphobos, did you I think that I made you a mod. Tell me if it worked.
Got a lot of bots hanging over there tonight.
I understand. I think I got
Yeah.
Phantom Monk as well.
Okay.
Let me know if it worked. Sorry, I don't know. I mean, first of all, on the bright side, Professor, people are watching and enjoying our stream. That's
I
a
hope
good
so.
thing.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
want the chat to be a nice place too for our friends hanging out over there.
Of course. It's very important that like the chat is having fun and having a
Okay.
good conversation. I'm just saying I have no idea because it's hard for me to look at all these things at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't have any context. I trust you that if you say that people are overdoing it there, I trust your judgment. But also try to I'm saying to the people in the chat, try to have a nice conversation.
Yeah. Well, the problem, I think, part of the bigger problem is there's some bots that are popping in, posting a lot of stuff, and so
I
it's like
see.
whack-a-mole. Yeah.
I see.
Istphobos is saying no, not yet. I'm not seeing.
I am sure that I modded you. Phantom Monk, is any of you? Or are you?
Reload here.
Let's see for a second.
Um,
Count options, moderation, moderators. It says you're all in here.
Well, maybe it kicks in shortly.
Yeah, maybe it takes a second.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me see. I tried something else. I think I wasn't following one of them, so I followed them, and now you're moderators. I don't know. Do your best.
You know what, Empress, and you're right. I think we do need to talk about more boobs in chat. That sounds good.
Anyhow,
yeah.
I guess.
Thank you, those of you hanging out with us in the chat. Thank you for trying to those of you trying to keep it civil. Those of you want to hop in here and instantly blame a particular
group of people. Yeah.
You can just F right off, and you're not welcome back here. So, get lost. Yeah. So.
It's the Phobos. Maybe you should try to refresh.
Yeah, I don't know. We're doing it live, folks.
you should try to refresh this to Phobos. Hopefully something good will happen. And yeah, I in general I don't like to just take a group of people and blame them, no matter who that group is. It's something that I don't like to do in general. I think
that's never a useful way, useful direction for conversation, to simply try and scapegoat, especially try to scapegoat an entire race of people, an entire religion, any of those things. Just
Any of
not
those things.
helpful ever. Oh, Elizabeth Quinn did say she'd be happy to mod, but she's got dishes to do. So,
Well, we wouldn't want to interfere with Elizabeth Quince's dishes. But what I'll say is that I think that when people are angry, it's very, very tempting to take, these kind of, oh, it's all of these people doing it, it's all of those people doing it. And it's not just exclusive to, I think, the group of people you meant. It also sometimes has to do with crime, that you're like, oh, always this it's always this group, it's always that group. And I always am very careful with saying stuff like that, because maybe you can bring me a statistic and you can say, hey, don't you see this statistic here? And that's very nice. But I've met people from every background, from every, whether it's an ethnicity or religion or whatever it is. And I think that there's people that I've met from every different background, that I met somebody that was nice from that group. And if I've met somebody, and I haven't met all the people in the world, but if I've met some nice people from every group, then at least I know that they exist. So to just take a whole group and say, well, they're all terrible, I just don't like to do that in general. I try to look at every person just as a person. I try not to do those kind of stereotypes. Obviously, if there's a group of people that they subscribe to a certain ideology, meaning they're far left radicals or something, obviously I can say that I don't really prefer that kind of ideology and people who are embracing it so enthusiastically. I can say that because I understand what their ideology is. But to just say, hey, their skin color is this, and then to have an issue, that doesn't feel right to me. Do you get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's the same
Yeah.
with religion and with everything else. I think that people should just, first of all, look at each other like people. And there's been way too much rhetoric of trying to blame people. It's when I zoom out, it happens in a lot of cases. You look online, there's something that happens, and everybody just jumps on whatever stereotypes that match that whatever that incident is. And I don't really like that. I understand why. I sometimes, in some cases, I understand why it's like the easy go-to uh, emotional solution for it. But I also, at the same time, think that it's not the right thing to do, and it doesn't lead to the type of dialogue that you were saying. And if people won't learn to try to understand each other and have a dialogue with each other, then I don't think that anything good is going to happen. But that's just me personally.
Yeah, and I know. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Has anything changed there? Is this
no?
the
It looks like I'm trying to follow. Ista says now he for some reason he has mod controls, but he can't, or he doesn't have the icon yet. But Phantom Monk has the mod icon now. So
okay, well,
Phantom Monk is Phobos are going to help me keep things civil over there, and they're gonna make sure that the bots can take a hike.
Some of these conversations are also
maybe
really...
that will help help calm things down a little bit over there. Yeah, it's a little much tonight, but that's okay. We're glad that we've got people here. I'm glad there's some actual real human beings that want to stick around and have some conversations, and hell, maybe make a few jokes about boobs. That's fine. It's one of those days when maybe some jokes about boobs might actually be...
I don't know. Boobs
might
is
actually
fine.
be welcome.
Boobs, there's nothing wrong with boobs. Just putting that out there.
Yes.
Even Elizabeth Quince with her dishes agrees with me.
Yes. There are a few things in this world that can solve so many problems as a lovely, lovely pair of tits. So yeah, agreed. It's a thing that brings us together. Price. People across the political spectrum. We come together to appreciate some lovely jugs.
Speaking of boobs,
no, where? What?
there was a trailer today. Sydney Sweeney doing this like dramatic role. Did you see that?
I did not see that trailer today. I did see there were a couple of new trailers that came out today. And I'm trying to remember which ones I saw. I'm not sure which one it is you're talking about, Price, but you can pull it up.
Okay, so basically, there was a trailer today. There's a more kind of serious movie that I guess Sydney Sweeney is doing, where she's going to be playing a boxer lady, like it's based on a true story.
Okay.
Now I have to warn you.
Oh, it was the Tron Ares trailer. That's what it was. We can maybe talk about that here in a bit. But yeah, go ahead.
For starters, I wanted to play the Christie trailer. Now, the Christie trailer is, I guess, a true story about a female boxer, and Sydney Sweeney is playing her. I want to warn you, Professor, that they actually, they're not trying to make Sydney Sweeney look good in this movie. They're actually going out of their way to make her look more like a sort of boxer or something. I want you to be mentally prepared for this. It's true, though. Okay. So this is it. This is the trailer, the Sydney Sweeney movie. I guess this is the type of movie she's doing because she's hoping she gets some awards. Although after that whole jeans campaign, who knows if she'll ever get one, but let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you? You must be the lady I've been hearing so much about.
Yes, sir. It's an honor to meet you, Mr. King.
Now tell me about yourself. Jesse here says that you fight in all pink.
I'm from West Virginia.
What's that got to do with pink?
Nothing, sir. I'm just telling you about myself.
Yeah, pink was mine.
You the world champion right now. You think you what makes the world turn. But one day you're gonna wake up and realize that it turns just fine without you.
What are you doing sneaking around behind my
I'm
back?
sneaking around. Hey, Dad. I think I want to come home.
Want to lose your trainer, your career, all of it?
Honey, you are like family to me. I am worried about you. I've heard some stuff.
What stuff?
There's no Christy Martin without me.
I need help, Mama. He's angry at me all the time. Oh, Christy. You sound crazy.
If you leave me, I'll kill you.
Do what you have to do. I spent half my life hiding. That's my house. My things. That's my home.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you.
You know, I'm genuinely beginning to wonder if Sydney Sweeney is actually an actress and not just a really hot chick.
I'm going to tell you something. I saw recently 2 movies that were more kind of indie, or in one case, the Ron Howard one. It just, I guess they didn't believe in it. I don't know how much it cost to make it, but it didn't really get a really heavily marketed release. But there were 2 movies that I saw her in that she played very different roles and actually required they required her to actually do real acting, and I thought that she was actually good in both of them. In one of them, she was a waitress that had a stutter, and she was kind of awkward and kind of strange and awkward. I thought that she did that pretty well. I didn't dislike her performance in the movie. And then I saw her in this thing where she's playing like a German immigrant in 1930 or something. And I thought to myself, man, this is going to be embarrassing. And you know what? Thought she was pretty good there too. And then I thought to myself, hey, maybe this lady can act. I think that people are probably going to be surprised. I have a feeling that she's going to be good in this movie.
Yeah, very likely.
At the end, she's going to be a combination that she can actually act, and she looks good, and she's fun, and those are all good things. But yeah, I until those last two movies, I thought, oh, maybe she's kind of ditzy and she doesn't know how to act really. But I'm starting to think that she does know how to act.
Yeah, and I
And
think
this,
I think too, Bryce. I think she's got a really good agent. I think she's got somebody who knows what she's capable of and is getting her the roles that she needs to be able to show that she's more than just hot, right? That's the right move for her. That's the right move for her not to just be a very, very lovely looking lady who's willing to say, "Hey, I'm pretty. Okay, I'm a pretty woman. That's okay." Uh, but actually now going out and getting roles that are more serious. You don't have to go straight to Oscar bait, right? You can go out and you can do some movies about you being a, sort of a, interesting, different, sort of historical figure who, racing cars and in boxing matches and stuff like that, kind of finding, finding their groove and figuring out who they are as people. I think that's kind of a cool idea for a story, honestly. And I, watching just those clips there, I'm like, man, she kind of looks like that's one of those things that I like when I see in a film, when I actually see an actor and I go, wow, they've kind of disappeared into the part that they're playing, right? And I'm actually kind of seeing that there, right? I'm kind of seeing like she's disappearing into that part. I'm not seeing Sydney Sweeney as much in that. I'm seeing the character that she's playing, which is kind of cool. So, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting.
yeah, no, she's represented by Paradigm, and that's a pretty decent. Well, it's kind of hit and miss, to be honest. I've done back in the day. I've had some dealings with Paradigm, and there was some people that worked at this company. A few people I worked with that I was very impressed with. That I thought, oh, these guys are actually on top of their game. There were also a few people I met from this company that I thought to myself, why do they have a job here?
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, a lot of companies with a lot of employees become kind of hit and miss. So
Yeah.
I would say that I have mixed feelings about this agency, but I suppose that whoever her agent, which is apparently a lady called Jennifer Millar, she, I think that Sydney Sweeney is probably her top client, and she seems to put a lot of work into her. There's other
Mhm.
people like on this list, but they're not in the same league as Sydney Sweeney.
Mm.
And just from my own sort of experience and also my own 2 cents here, uh, sometimes you have a situation where you have a guy who's like, "Oh, I work with Leonardo DiCaprio, I work with this guy and that guy." And then let's say he becomes your rep, just a person who's on the rise or something like that. Well, that agent is probably not gonna spend a whole lot of time on anybody that's not Leonardo DiCaprio or one of those other ones, meaning he'll devote most of his time to those big names that'll make him the big checks. Whereas in this case, it looks like she has an agent that amongst the roster of clients within this agency, uh, Sydney Sweeney is like the top one on her roster. So at least it's somebody that's devoting a lot of time to it. And yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Mhm.
Whoever this lady is doing a really good job.
Yep. I genuinely, I mean, so far, it's kind of refreshing to see an actress who's just like okay with just being attractive and not spending all of her time constantly posting on social media and telling us all of her political opinions and telling us what we're supposed to think and how we're supposed to think and all of that. Like, and just maybe going out and getting jobs and acting and performing and letting everyone just sort of experience her that way. I don't know. It's interesting. it's it's not what we've been, sort of what we've gotten used to over the past couple of decades.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Well, I actually thought that movie looked like it would be interesting. So we
Yeah.
said boobs. We got to Sydney
Oh,
Sweeney.
we did, yeah. Although there weren't a lot of boobs in the Sydney Sweeney
No,
trailer,
no,
but,
this isn't like this. She's not really
This
doing
is,
that in this movie.
yeah.
But at least we did that. And by the way, I forgot to. But do you agree with my thoughts about Zaslav and him and all this spin with Gunn? Now that it doesn't it make more sense now that he's trying to unload this whole thing?
Yeah, maybe yeah. If they're trying to sell off Warner Brothers, maybe he stays with Discovery and they go off and do their thing, and he sells off Warner Brothers and all of DC and everything to somebody else. Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you this: Warner Brothers sure does have a hell of a lot of debt right now.
They have $34 billion in debt.
34 billion in debt, and yeah, wow. Yeah, I think somebody coming in and offering them a really good sum of money, they're gonna probably be okay with that idea of selling.
Especially Zaslav. I feel like
especially Zaslav, yeah.
Zaslav likes money. Yeah, he thought he wanted him to be respected in Hollywood and all that. I feel like he's just like, fuck it. Sorry, Sean. He probably is just saying, you know what? Cut me a check. You assume the debt of this company, and between you and me, those Ellisons have so much money right now, so they take the debt, they cover it, they don't cover it. He gets to walk away. Maybe he gets a lot of money, and he walks away with Discovery anyways, or maybe nothing. They just give him a huge payday, and he just goes away, and he doesn't care anymore. No wonder he did a press release saying how much he's happy with James Gunn and all this stuff. It was nonsense. I knew all the time that there was something fishy about all of this. In one of my last videos, I said this, and I think probably I told you that as well. I told you this, I think, last time we spoke, is that if that movie was so successful, you didn't need the whole PR push to say that it's successful. Everybody would have just known that it's successful. Like, if that movie made anywhere between $800 to $1 billion at the box office, I think you wouldn't be hearing much of anything. You'd say, okay, well, it makes sense that they would make more of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even with the fact that I think they lied about the budget and all that other stuff. Forget about all that. 800 to $1 billion, you figure it's worth it. It's worth it to continue.
Oh yeah.
This
Oh, we're jumping in. Yeah. You're pulling, maybe if you're pulling in as much in profit as you actually spent on the film, forget marketing and stuff, those, just saying like, oh, if I actually I take the film and after marketing and everything, like I actually end up making back, making back a huge chunk of my money, making back as much as I actually spent on the film. Yeah. Woo. Yeah. Let's make more. Let's make more. I mean, you've kind of already said this. We have no doubt that there's nothing in our minds that makes us think that there's not going to be another Jurassic World movie. I think they've sucked since the first one.
Yes.
They're gonna make another one because they keep making money, and not just, oh, we barely eked by a profit. No, we made 2% profit on top of everything we spent. No, these movies are making big money profit in the end. They're making back all of their money and a significant amount more, even before they get to home media, right?
Right.
And then they there's no doubt that we are going to see companies that are going to keep making movies when they're profitable like that. But when we only have you got these movies that are just barely making a profit, just barely getting by. It's just that, yeah, like you said, Price, they have to go out and tell us, oh, we're going to make more, because we don't just assume that.
Right,
because
exactly.
the movie wasn't it wasn't such a success that everyone now says, oh well, there's automatically going to be more. I mean, it's like the end of the prequel, or excuse me, the sequel trilogy in Star Wars. If they had not come out just constantly telling us, oh, we're going to make more, we've got more movies in the pipeline. Oh, they had to come out and announce a new movie every 5 months. Oh, we've got a new trilogy from the guys that made, this, and we've got another thing over here. And it was all BS. It was all ridiculous. And, they, in the end, none of it came true, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, none of it came true. And the thing is that if Superman, James Gunn's Superman, would have made $1 billion at the box office, they didn't even need to do one article. They didn't need to talk to anybody. They could just sit there until now and say nothing. No declarations from Zaslav, no press releases, no spin, no interviews, no pivoting. You didn't need to do anything. It made $1 billion. We all know what happens next. And nobody would even be stressed about it. It wouldn't be like, oh, are they going to make a sequel? It wouldn't be like for half a year. They could literally wait for half a year and say nothing, and we'd all know exactly what's going to happen. It's just a matter of when they're doing it, when they're announcing, when they're releasing, when this, but nobody's losing any sleep over it. The fact that you have to keep doing press releases, you have to keep doing all these narratives and sell all these ideas, and you see in the press exactly when it happens, that they're like, oh, this movie made $125 million in clean profit at the box office. No, it didn't. It didn't make $125 million clean at the box office. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. And then they're like, this movie made 3 times more than Snyder's movie made. Now, I don't care if you like Snyder's movie or not. You can hate Snyder's movie. It didn't make more than that movie. You could say whatever you want, and it doesn't matter. I've told you before, for me, Richard Donner, 78, that's the top of the line for me. But if I'm being just objective and reporting on the news, Man of Steel made more money than Superman. I don't know what kind of backflips they're trying to do, mental backflips, to try to explain this. It didn't make more money. That's what's killing them, because James Gunn came in. He said, I don't need anybody. I'm firing Henry Cavill. I'm firing Ben Affleck. I'm firing Gal Gadot. I'm firing everybody. I don't need this DC thing. I have my own ideas. I can do this. I can do that. And he did it. And it turned out that he probably wasn't the right man for the job, which is what most sane people were thinking that actually know anything. And since then, they're just trying to cover this mishap.
Yeah.
I mean, the truth is that all he needed to walk in, he didn't even need to walk in. I think that if Zaslav, instead of some of those other things like Black Adam and some of those other weird things, there were some dumb decisions that had nothing to do with Zaslav, and some did have to do with him. But what I would have done is, like, on day one, if I'm walking into Warner Brothers and now I'm the CEO, I would have said, okay, bring me Henry Cavill. Let's do Superman 2, Man of Steel 2, whatever you want to call it. And I say that with or without Snyder, meaning I say, like, make that movie. If you want to bring other people, maybe that are even a better fit, I'm open to the idea. I just think that people already thought that he was a good Superman. They just wanted to see a good movie. It was a much more simple solution than all the crap that we got afterwards, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is what it is. That was Read by Nature says, remember, Gunn was something like the 5th person they asked. I believe that. Who would want to even deal with that crap? So Jason Webster gave a $5 super chat on YouTube. Ayrton Senna, 3 times F1 champion. Life is too short and precious to have enemies. Yeah, I think that's a good policy. I think that's good. And Tomahawk is saying price for Warner Brothers CEO. Thank you. But I will say it and I'll move along. I feel a bit vindicated, Professor, because everybody was treating me like I'm some kind of idiot, and I don't think I was an idiot. I think that I called everything correctly until now. Every single thing I said was pretty much correct. And keep in mind, I don't sit at Warner Brothers. I'm not privy to their conversations. I can't read their emails. They don't. I don't sit in the meetings with them. And based on the information that I had, I think that my analysis throughout this whole situation has been fairly decent. Now you could say, well, maybe you made a mistake here, maybe you made a mistake, maybe, but I think that overall the general instinct I had was correct, and this information we had today, I feel vindicated. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Sure. Yeah, I think that fits.
I feel a bit vindicated because it supports my explanation more than some of these other explanations.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Sometimes, sometimes in life you give analysis and you're right, and sometimes you give analysis and you're wrong. And I'm sure there's times that I've been right, and I'm sure there's times that I've been wrong. But when I'm right, I want everybody to shake my hand and tell me that I'm great. I want to be like Kathleen Kennedy. I want everybody to stand and do the thing where they salute me on my way out and give me awards, and they bring me a birthday cake and sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow.
Yeah.
I want all of that.
Okay. Have we
Not
gotten
always,
all of
just
our,
this time.
Have we gotten all of our super chats? Did we get through both of those?
I think we did.
Yeah, I think we have one more on Rumble.
Oh, okay. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
It's the Phobos. I have the high-speed chase that they were supposedly looking at. It's on my Twitter. There was nothing to cheer about. It was dull. I'm 100% sure that TMZ had nothing.
I don't even have to watch it to know.
There was nothing. There was nothing that would justify those guys cheering from a stupid car chase. I absolutely don't believe them. But it is what it is. What can we do? Anyhow, Professor, we've been all over the place today. What else is remembering 9/11. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, while we were on the topic, I had something else.
Okay. Let's do your thing. It's funner than 9/11. Let's go with yours.
Jeez, good Lord, yes. So yeah, as you were talking about Superman. We were talking about the Superman sequel. Now, they got to get out and tell everyone, there's gonna be a Superman sequel. And now, I believe we had Gunn who had a conversation with, it was with Howard Stern earlier today.
Oh, with Howard Stern of all people.
Yes, Howard Stern, who apparently hasn't actually, his show has not been actually taken out.
Somebody bought gifted memberships or some
yes.
memberships.
Yeah, well, it looks like there were some gifted memberships over on
Rumble.
Over on Rumble from Ramble on 365. Thank you, Ramble on 365.
Ramble on 365. This was very kind of you.
Yeah.
Let me. I'm thinking, how do I highlight this? Okay. I feel like it doesn't.
I think all you can do is highlight all the different membership gifts in this. I don't think.
Okay, so at least
I think there's one thing that you can highlight.
Yeah, I'll just highlight one.
365.
So Rambleon 365, he gifted memberships, and there's I think there's 10 of them, but I'll just highlight this one. I'll highlight this one. All these people got memberships thanks to Rambleon, and we really appreciate that. It was very, very nice of you. It was a huge gift, actually, and we appreciate that. And from my recollection, I think this isn't the first time the Rambleon has done something like this. I recall another occasion where he did that, so that's really, really awesome of you. I'll leave this up a little bit. Yeah. So what were you going to say, Professor?
Well, so James Gunn got to have this conversation with Howard Stern, and he said they were starting to shoot the Superman sequel, but then he said, starting to shoot it in April 2026 or so. So Okay. So obviously, no, they're not getting ready to start shooting this, but telling us now, making sure we all know what exactly it is that the new Superman movie is about, and it's what we all assumed it was going to be. It's a story about Lex Luthor and Superman working together. Oh, don't you feel excited, Price? Don't you feel the warm fuzzies in your heart about Superman and Lex Luthor working together?
I don't. I mean, I never really felt that that's what I was looking for personally. I'm not saying that it could never happen. You know, anything can happen in a comic book movie, but we were just introduced to Lex Luthor, and now he's going to be working with him. It just, I don't know. It doesn't feel earned.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, if there's a situation that there's like a rivalry for years, but then there's such a crisis that they have to team up, even though like there's such a history between them, then I think that that's interesting. But given the goofy nature of Gunn's thing to begin with, and the fact that we just met Lex Luthor 5 seconds ago, and he was this kind of whiny emo, I don't know how to explain it, but man child, whatever he was supposed to be, I don't know. I'm not excited personally, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Also, the thing is that what they're going to do is, this is what I said in my video, in one of my recent videos. I feel like that Man of Tomorrow movie is going to be something like an Avengers movie. Or if you want maybe a better example, maybe like a Captain America Civil War. In terms of, sure, it'll be the Man of Tomorrow, but it'll have like a 1-2 punch of more of a co-starring with Superman and Lex Luthor. And then it wouldn't surprise me if you'll see Supergirl, if you'll see Lanterns in it, if you'll see Peacemaker, if you'll see the Justice Gang. It could be one of those kind of productions that he's trying to take all of his other shows and movies, and then in one movie he'll bring them all together, and it'll be his version of like the Avengers. And perhaps there's a hope that that movie will take all the people that enjoyed all these other properties, bring them all together in a way that the movie will make more money than usual, and then they can really show what a success James Gunn is. Personally, if Zaslav is trying to unload this company, I don't even know if he'll ever be around to see if this was a success or not. And if somebody else takes over this thing, who knows if they even don't cancel this? Maybe they'll go through with it. Maybe they won't. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if this were to change hands, if WB changes hands, it goes to somebody else, someone else is in control. Yeah, who knows if the Gunn DCU survives, right? I mean, I'm certain that there's some contracts there, right? I'm certain that that's the case. I mean, obviously, it seems like now that Skydance is really kind of running things, now that we've got what is it? David
Ellison,
David Ellison. Yeah, sorry. David Ellison that's running things over there, that they're really trying to figure out what they need to do to dump the stuff that's just not working, bring in other things that are, and that goes to every network. It goes into news, it goes into, all of the streaming and everything. And they're still sort of stuck with some of the contracts and stuff, like for instance with Secret Hideout, Kurtzman, and Star Trek. And so they've got to figure out, like, okay, what do we do now? How do we actually deal with this? Because apparently he got such an outrageously favorable contract that for them to really move away from from what's happening, and to move away from the Star Trek that that he's been making, like, it sounds like it's going to be a really difficult move. And that maybe part of it is just the new execs, these new people don't actually really know what to do with Star Trek. I wouldn't be surprised there. I think that there's a lot of the newer generation that's coming in, both writers and producers and people working as executives, that don't understand what the hell Star Trek is supposed to be. For them, it's like, oh, isn't that like this? Isn't that like Star Wars? It's like space cowboys. No, that's absolutely not. So I'm not sure they even know what to do with it. But then, like they know that. I think it's pretty obvious to anybody just looking at the numbers that what is being made by Kurtzman and Secret Hideout just it's not working. So to think that they might continue the contract with him, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, if they are to take over, WB, if there is this whole deal that goes through, it's Paramount, Skydance, WB, I feel like they're going to need a new name at some point instead of just adding all of these names together.
PWB. I don't know what it'll be, but I'll tell you this. This also, I'm trying to think now. The fact that Zaslav announced that these movies will come out in 2026, 26 or 27 now.
The new Superman movie is
27.
Is supposed to be 27. The Woman
Girl
of
is
Tomorrow
26,
is 26.
and the Batman Part 2 is 27.
27 as well, yeah.
I almost feel like maybe as I'm gonna go on a limb here, and I'm not 100% sure of this, but maybe part of this stuff that's going on with Paramount or just in general in Zaslav's mind, maybe he greenlit those two movies, and that's as far as his greenlighting goes. Meaning Supergirl, he's not going to cancel that. He's not going to cancel Lanterns. Superman, the conclusion or whatever you want to call it, he gave that to James Gunn, and he gave him that movie for 2027. Good optics. It's quote unquote doing well. Matt Reeves, which actually the previous movie did do decently at the box office, he's going to have his part 2 now. Zaslav can say this is it. That's the final movie in the contract that I have with these guys. Now, Ellison, if you buy it, you can then do whatever you want. You're covered until 2027. And maybe this is something that Ellison will say, great. He takes this thing over. He sees how these things perform. If they don't perform well, he can dump Reeves, Gunn, or both of them, and then he can do whatever he wants. And nothing is stopping him. I'm not saying 100% that he would actually go and call Henry Cavill and bring him back from Superman, but I'm just saying that when another guy takes over, you don't know what that person is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, if I couldn't answer what I would do if I was running the country now and how I would fix the evil people. That I couldn't answer that. But if you quantum leaped me into David Ellison now and you said, okay, you're taking over this thing, I walk in, I think that I am very quickly, maybe whatever, I can't just flush money down the toilet. If Gunn is working on movies as an executive, whatever he's working on. You know what I mean? I'd try to delay Superman as much as I could, the Man of Tomorrow, and try to create a situation where at the end I just pull the plug on it. You know what I mean? I try to just delay it so that it doesn't look like I don't have the confidence, and maybe those other movies will make a few dollars, but I would try to delay it and then just remove the movie altogether. Or maybe if I had to go through everything, I do it, but then once I can get out of it, I would consider calling Henry Cavill. It doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that anybody else from the executives of the previous DCEU need to be involved. But if you can bring me a director and a screenwriter that can make a good movie with Superman, and Henry Cavill isn't like 100 years old at the time, which I don't think he will be, I think he could still do a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
It's really what Zaslav needed to do from day one. It surprises me. I think that Zaslav, there's things that he did that I thought were okay. I don't think he's the worst businessman. When it came to DC, it turned out that he too is just a businessman. He didn't understand the ins and outs of what he could have done there. But if I'm David Ellison, one thing that I would do is I would do anything in my power to get rid of Alex Kurtzman. The fact that Alex Kurtzman is still a thing, that baffles me. That is like the luckiest man alive. He is the worst at his job. He's the
Yeah.
absolute worst at his
Oh,
job. It can't
awful.
be that a person that is so bad at his job continues to just make millions and millions of dollars to produce the biggest garbage ever with practically no ratings. I've never seen a guy just sit there and burn so much money for a company. Nobody benefits from this guy. I don't know what kind of draconian contract they signed with him, but man, whatever it is, they have to pay to get rid of that guy.
Yeah. I cannot understand why anyone kept him around, other than, at least for, somebody at Paramount. He was, uh, he was pushing the message the way that they wanted him to, in Star Trek. And I think a lot of the people, genuinely, who are running the studio at the time actually did not actually care about Star Trek at all. And so they were told, "Hey, this guy could take Star Trek and could make the monies, and you will see some monies from this property that you don't care about." And so they just let him have whatever he wanted, and clearly just completely messed things up. Uh, it's Phobos. It says, "I would like to see what Taylor Sheridan could do with Star Trek. That would be interesting." See Taylor Sheridan. I'm not sure that that's the kind of Star Trek I want, but that's interesting. Could be good, I suppose. And um, over on YouTube, talking about 511 was saying, instead of just being lovable like a film dog, Crypto is out of control and chaotic, something that an actual dog owner would understand. The level of realism in modern cinema just sucks out the escapism aspect. Yeah, uh, that that happens a lot now. Uh, yeah, where they've got to make it so real, and they've got to insert all of these things. They got to do all this stuff and make it this thing. So, well, anyway, kind of wrap up, I guess, what we were saying about the Superman thing. Yeah, so Gunn called into the increasingly irrelevant Howard Stern show and told us all that the next movie, he's so excited about it. You should be excited about it too. He loves working with Nicholas Hoult, and there was actually, did you watch any of this, Bryce? Did you watch any of this video today?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
About so there's video of this call that James Gunn made.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Oh, okay,
Sorry.
so they talk about Let's see, does it say anywhere in here? They talk about how both of them just related so much to Nicholas Holt's Lex, because Lex,
he's an asshole.
He's jealous of Superman. And so they related so much to this take on Lex Luthor because he's so jealous of Superman. And they went on and on about, well, wouldn't you be jealous too? Like, you're the biggest guy in the world. Everyone loves you. You're the most, even though there's all these other metahumans and superheroes around, like, you're the best at everything. And then suddenly this punk comes along, and he's only been around for a few years, and he's got on this, gay looking outfit or whatever. And now he's the coolest thing around, and everyone forgets about you. So wouldn't you be jealous too? It's like, oh my God, this is who we've got writing Superman.
That's the problem, but that's
Seriously?
what I felt when I watched it. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly how I felt when I watched that stupid movie. Doesn't surprise me at all, really.
This is who we got writing Superman. He thinks that Lex Luthor's problem is that he's upset that people like Superman more than they like him.
I have a surprise for you, Professor. I don't know if I've ever shown you this. In 2023, did you ever see what some of the festivities of Star Trek Day? that Paramount did?
Unfortunately, yes, I saw quite a few of them. Which one in particular?
Yeah, I want to show this
Which
to you. Are you ready?
embarrassing failure of do you want
We'll
to
get back
share?
to your Superman thing in a second. I want to show you this.
No,
Are
no,
you
I
ready?
think I'm pretty much done, but yeah.
No, it's interesting what you said, but
Yeah.
let me show this to you. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me make sure there's the volume here.
It's your favorite drag queen, Jackie Cox. I'm in New York, and I'm on a special secret mission to find out if there are Star Trek fans lurking amongst us. Let's go find them. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think you know about Star Trek? 0. I think you're going to surprise yourselves. Can you name a Star Trek captain?
I want to say Captain Picard.
That's correct, Captain Picard. There is also a Captain Kirk. See, you guys know so much. Any Star Trek?
We don't talk about Captain Kirk. We don't talk about him.
It's your favorite drag queen, Jackie Cox. I'm in New York.
That was just a little tidbit. I knew you would enjoy.
Thanks for sharing that with me, Price. I
just wanted you to capture some of the atmosphere of Star Trek Day.
God, this last Star Trek Day was one of the most dismal, like depressing things I've ever seen. They're out there trying to convince us, Star Trek has a bright future. No, it doesn't. Get the hell off the stage. You all suck. Your shows suck. Strange New World is a disaster. The new show that you've got coming out with Academy looks like the most embarrassing thing that's ever had the word Star Trek on it, and that's saying something given that they released Section 31. So no, I don't want any of your trans, lesbian, half Klingon, half Borg, whatever. I don't want any of it. I don't want this garbage. I'm not going to watch it. I've said repeatedly, I am done. I am done with anything made by Kurt. If it has Kurtzman's name on it, I'm not watching it. It is utter filth. I will go back and watch actual good Star Trek. If I need some Star Trek in my life, I will go enjoy actual Star Trek that has been made by people who actually understand what Star Trek is supposed to be, and not this ridiculous just garbage that has been, parading around in Star Trek clothing for this last decade. It's so bad. And yeah, we get to see crap like that on Star Trek Day because we gotta have representation. That's the most important thing. People need to see themselves in Star Trek because you could never relate to any of the characters ever if they didn't look exactly like you, which is why Spock was the most popular character, because he was green and had pointy ears and everyone could identify with him or something. I don't know.
Something like that. I like that Adam Gray said that's not my favorite drag queen because the president said it's everybody's favorite drag queen. I don't know who's your favorite drag queen, but I don't know if Jackie Cox. I'd never heard of Jackie Cox prior to Star Trek Day.
If it's going to be favorite drag queens, I think it's got to be Divine. Someone just took it totally to the next level. That would have to be, I don't know about some of these other new
maybe
ones.
I don't know.
RuPaul.
I mean, it's all kind of a relative thing. It's not that I'm sitting around really thinking about drag queens, but I guess I don't know. RuPaul has been around for a long time with it. Has a brand name.
This is true. Yeah, television shows, series.
Reed Major said they had half a chance of scraping back some fans if they had greenlit Legacy, but opted for more of the same instead. I think that Kurtzman was very upset that a few people thought that Terry Matalas actually did something that was somewhat watchable, and that was the end. That was the end of the road for Terry Matalas, pretty much. Tomahawk says the last good Star Trek was Enterprise. I tend to agree with you.
That was the last Star Trek.
That was the last Star Trek. I
So, yeah.
know that this is an unpopular opinion, and I recognize that it had a lot of flaws. The third season of Picard, the Terry Matalas season, I can't say that I hated it, but I did watch it knowing that I'm just being fed a lot of member berries, and they're just kind of like going for all the nostalgia bait. I realize that it certainly had its issues. It's not a perfect show, but overall, if I look at the entire Kurtzman Trek era, it's something that I was at least able to watch, if nothing else. And there were moments in it. There were moments that I could think of that I actually said, "Oh, I kind of like this." But again, it's very hard to give a compliment when it's like within a sea of crap. There's one thing that's mildly okay. It's sort of, you need Star Trek to be much better. To have everything crap and one thing mildly okay is not one season of a show that was terrible. It's and even then they didn't allow him to retcon all the crap that happened there out of existence. He had to work with whatever crap they gave him, still keep it in there and try to explain why it's there. So I'm not hating on Terry Matalas. I think he had a very, very difficult job to do there. And all things considered, I think he at least showed that he has some enthusiasm and he does genuinely like Star Trek. And I feel like that's probably the reason why they didn't give him legacy and they didn't give him anything else to do there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that I think Kurtzman was jealous, genuinely, that he made something that people actually cared about, that people actually enjoyed, and of course, more importantly, the wrong people enjoyed it. That's also a problem for
The
a
wrong
lot of
people,
these entertainers.
all the people that have been trashing, like, Kurtzman for years suddenly sat and said, "Hey, we can watch this. It's not the worst thing that ever happened." Again, I don't think there's a person that watched that season and will tell you that it didn't have issues. I could easily sit and list issues of that season, but there was at least something about the atmosphere of it that it felt like somebody was trying to bring back the band together, give them some storyline. There were at least some heroic moments that they're like, on the Enterprise D again, and I don't know. You can say that it was the cheapest form of member berries and nostalgia bait, but I'll be darned if there weren't a few moments that kind of I still enjoyed it. Not necessarily top quality, but levels above anything that Kurtzman has dished out. And knowing that Matalas didn't actually create that crap, he just had to take a really bad situation and try to end it somehow. I think that under the circumstances, he did it about as well as you could hope that he would. I personally don't think that even if he was there with legacy, that he could have done something normal with Kurtzman's presence there. I think that you need to take Kurtzman, remove him from the equation entirely, and bring people that actually give a shit about Star Wars. Sorry, Sean. Sorry, Star Trek. Sorry, Sean. Sorry, Sean,
Yeah.
and sorry, Sean, again for saying Star Wars, not Star Trek. But you knew what I meant.
Yes. Oh, we saw Sean in the chat for a few minutes. I was so hoping he was going to join us tonight.
Oh no, where is he?
Yeah, no, he was in the chat for a few minutes a little earlier, but I guess he's, poor guy. He's got some rough hours to work, so I don't blame him. We always do enjoy when Sean gets to pop in, though.
That is true.
We do have a super chat.
Oh, okay. Let's do that. Jason Webster. Let's see what he says, and I'm going to share that right now. 1 second, guys. I'm doing some serious technology stuff here on the Night Owl, as always. And Pigs in Space is better and more culturally profound than Kurtzman Trek. That's for $5. Is that Australian dollars?
Oh, I believe it is.
Oh, good day, mate.
Yeah.
I do the voice. The voice.
Well, I can do accents. I can do them for like a second or two, and then they usually fall apart into something else.
Yours was good. That was actually pretty good, Professor. I couldn't actually do it. I wish Robot Head was here.
Then we wouldn't need to do our Aussie accents, and if we did, we would be horribly, horribly embarrassed. So
you know what's weird? I'm going to tell you a secret now, and I don't know if Robot Head's listening, but I have to tell you, I don't actually know the difference between an Australian accent and a New Zealand accent. They sound kind of the same to me.
They do sound a lot alike. They do sound a lot alike. So, okay. Sorry. Yeah, they do sound a lot alike. Someone was saying that maybe we missed a Rumble rant.
There's this one from Mr. Phobos where he said, I have the high-speed chase they were supposedly looking at. It's on my Twitter. There was nothing to cheer about.
Yeah, we mentioned
dull.
we said
I think
that
we
one.
saw it. If there's anything else, Mr. Phobos, it's not appearing on my list. It doesn't mean you didn't send it, but I don't have access to it from.
Yeah, that's the only
interface.
one. That's the last Rumble rant that I'm seeing. And I'm not seeing any other. I'm not seeing any super chats. So maybe you just missed when we read it. But yeah, we did. We read that other one before. Bless you.
Thank you. I didn't know if anybody heard that. I tried to kind of step away.
It's more than how they say Sikhs. East of Phobos. They also say the word deek rather finally.
It's Foster's for beer.
No, that was a New Zealander.
That was you did a New Zealander. I can't tell the difference. All I know is that I watched that movie with Viola Davis, that she's the president of the United States and she's battling Homelander. And I don't know why Homelander, I guess in this thing he has his natural accent. Now, I thought he was Australian, but then in the movie they said he was from New Zealand. And I don't really know what accent he was doing. He sounded like Robot Head to me. Part of the reason why I had fun watching that movie with Viola Davis is that like when when Anthony Starwood, like the villain, was talking to her, he sounded like Robot Head the whole time. I was laughing because I really felt like I finally found out who Robot Head was. He's Anthony Starr. That movie, like I don't know, it made me fun. Like all I needed was like one of those kind of edits where you paste Robot Head's like avatar on his face throughout the movie, and it would have been hilarious. Surprised that Robot Head hasn't done that yet.
Elizabeth Quinn says the best accent is South African. Had it set on directions, and hubby couldn't understand and had to take it off.
What? I don't know.
No, saying that she was on I think on the GPS had South African the accent selected. It probably and like it was so confusing and difficult to understand they had to turn it off.
That's interesting.
See, I have my my.
Was
Siri
it South African, like the local kind of South African?
Probably, yeah.
Like the kind that that's more urban type of speak.
Could be, yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, I've met people that speak English that are kind of South African that speak along the lines of what Elon Musk speaks like. I've met people like that, but I assume that that's not the accent she was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah,
no. The dingo ate my baby.
Yeah, if you want a New Zealand accent, I can share a New Zealand accent with you. But
do it.
Yeah. That's it. Unshare your video there.
Okay.
But yes, pigs in space. We love pigs in space. Here you go. And you can thank Adam Gray and the crew over at B-Sides for introducing me to this, which you can join us tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern over on B-Roll Stage on both Rumble and YouTube. But yeah, this is...
If you're like me, you find it very hard to keep your dick dry. I left my dick unprotected and it was warped out of shape in no time. I could barely recognize my own dick. Imagine that. Then I discovered Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sealant, the best way to take care of your dick in 3 easy steps. First, wash your dick with soap and water. Then wait for your dick to dry. Once your dick is clean and dry, paint your dick with Schaefer's dick sealant. I used to be too embarrassed to invite people over to see my dick, but now my dick's the talk of the town. I even have pictures of my dick. Check out that dick. I'm going to send this to my secretary. Barbara always loves to receive my dick. After all, summertime is all about spending time on your dick. I'll often have 20 to 30 people on my dick at once. Dick out, causing dick splinters and discoloration. But with Schaefer's dick sealant, my dick stays a nice golden brown colour. Who wouldn't want a golden dick? I used to never let children anywhere near my dick. My dick was too dangerous for kids to play on. But it seems like every kid in the neighbourhood's been on my dick this summer, and they've all had a good time. My dick's over 70 years old, but it looks brand new. That's part of the reason all my neighbours are jealous of my dick. Isn't that right, Jim?
Yes, you've got a nice dick, okay?
His wife is always on my dick, begging me to know the secret of my perfect dick. If you like Schaefer's dick sealant, check out Schaefer's New Zealand style cock. I had a huge hole in my dick, but I fixed it by jamming some cock in it. You'd be surprised how many things you can fix by jamming cock into them. Have an extra large hole in your dick? Try Schaefer's African style cock. Just go to your local home improvement store and ask for the big black cock. Schaefer's New Zealand style dick sealant. Don't put it on your penis.
That was great.
There's some New Zealand accent for
it's a great.
It's brilliant. That's
me
comedy
if
right
Anthony
there.
Starr is he Australian or New Zealand?
I'm pretty sure he's Australian. Let's see. I'm pretty sure he's Australian. Yeah. Oh, now I'm laughing too hard. Okay. Yes. Lots of people on my deek. No, he is from New Zealand. I was wrong. Born in Wellington, New Zealand. So
He was born in New Zealand?
Yeah, he's from Wellington, New Zealand. So yeah, he's a New Zealander. Yeah. What else we got tonight, Bryce? We were going to mention just a little bit, just thinking back, remembering 9/11.
There is one thing that I saw that kind of I just saw now. You know, I don't know when this is from, but this is something that seemed kind of annoying. Let me see if I can find this thing.
Yeah, there was a local police chief who had some direct connections to the towers and the people that were hurt, the people that were killed during 9/11, and he was invited to do a memorial talk at the local university about 9/11, and he had an absolutely incredible speech that he gave today, just reminding us all, like, the sacrifices that were made that day, and the people who want to try and make it about conspiracy theories and all of this stuff. Like, we're talking about, a lot of lives that were lost, and even more that were changed that day. And that really the focus ought to be on those people and on the heroes who raced up the steps of those towers, desperate to try and save lives, raced into that that incredibly dangerous, incredibly terrifying situation without a second thought, and with every intention to try and help people. So that's what I really think of now, when I go back to think about it. Yes, there awful things happened. That was an attack on not just the United States, but it was also an attack on Western values and freedom worldwide. And it's something that I don't think that we should forget. We have to make sure that we remember what happened that day. But we also need to remember and honor those people who sacrificed that day too. So people who want to bandy around conspiracy theories and so on, whatever. That kind of thing. Yeah. I don't know. That's not anything that I'm interested in, I suppose.
No, I mean, the thing is, okay, there's a few things going on here. First of all, a lot of people died that day, and there were a lot of people doing their jobs trying to save people, and they died. That's a tragedy in and of itself. I'm usually, I try to look at a lot of different angles when it comes to these kind of things. I wouldn't go full on conspiracy theory, but I will say that it seems like, if nothing else, there was either a failure of intelligence or certain intelligence that wasn't handled properly. Uh, do I sometimes wonder if there were some maybe bad faith actors even within the system that for some reason acted one way or another? It's crossed my mind, but these are things that don't change the tragedy itself. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with whoever this guy is saying, with whatever this guy is saying, that don't forget that these were people, this was their lives, and they died, and some people in the line of duty, and you can't forget that, because that's the real tragedy here. Could this thing have been avoided? Who was involved exactly? How many things? I think that if nothing else, sometimes it's human to at least for your mind to wander in a few different directions, especially when I think it's clear that there was, if nothing else, an intelligence failure. But even if there was an intelligence failure or whatever happened internally or whatever it is, it still doesn't matter when it comes to the people that suffered from this tragedy. And they're the ones that need to be honored on this day.
Yeah.
So,
And
interesting what he said.
Yeah. What was it that you said you wanted to share?
It wasn't that important.
Oh, okay.
No, I mean, I'll still share it.
Yeah.
But hold on one second. I mean, is it fair to say that it was an intelligence failure? I think that,
I think that's completely fair. It's 100% fair. There's if intelligence, the intelligence infrastructure had been working the way that it was supposed to, then no, something like that should not have happened. Does that necessarily mean that it was someone, on the inside who was ensuring that those failures happened? Was ensuring that this was allowed to take place? I don't know. I'm not really concerned with that at all.
So what happened was that Jesse Waters said Charlie Kirk was not controversial or polarizing. He was a patriot. This is a turning point, and we all need to turn it in the right direction. So Stephen King said he advocated stoning Jews to death. Just saying. Now the thing is, I don't recall him ever advocating that. So is my memory not serving me correctly? I don't remember him ever saying anything like that.
And this is Stephen King. He takes things out of context all the time. It's entirely possible he may have mentioned, that he may have mentioned, that this was a biblical punishment, in the Old Testament or something. Not necessarily saying that is what should happen today, but simply mentioning that is something that would have happened in the past. But of course, they then twist those things and pull those, out of context. And
this guy said,
that's a very common thing for Stephen King to do.
So this man says,
he's a little on the demented side of the left.
Yeah, it's sad because he used to be known as a good author, and now he's just a fuckface that sits around and acts like an asshole. Sorry, Sean. Chris Barron says, I am gay, and I can say without hesitation that you are the bigot, not Charlie. And there was something else. You had Dave Rubin saying, hey, Stephen King, you are more monstrous than any of the characters you ever came up with. Charlie was never anything but kind to me and my husband. We broke bread many times. He never treated us with anything other than respect. Came to our house not too long ago, and plot twist, didn't throw rocks at us. Write about that sometime, you hack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And someone is saying that someone in chat, Read by Nature, say he didn't. There's an out of context clip of him reading verses from the Bible, I guess. But yeah, and that's what I was saying. Like maybe referring to the fact that that was an Old Testament punishment for certain things. That's not something that's advocated today, except by some people in some countries who are invading other countries right now. There are certain religions that do still have the death penalty for someone being homosexual, and I guess that's all I'll say about that. So man, it's what else we got here? We were you mentioned something. We wanted to look at the look for Robert Downey's Doom. I think I saw this earlier today. I also mentioned too. Did you get to see the trailer for Tron Ares? Did you get to see that came out?
Is there another trailer today?
Earlier? Yes, there was one that came out today.
I didn't see it.
Honestly, looking pretty good. I mean, we can play it. You'll have to cut it out later, but
it's okay. Let's play it. Yeah, let's do it. I'll tell you that. I mean, I'll be honest, even the previous trailer didn't look bad. It's just I still worry about it, but that it's going to be annoying, but it doesn't look bad in the trailer, so I'll give you that. Let's see.
So much talk of AI in tech today. Virtual worlds, what are they going to look like when we get there?
This isn't the new one.
It's the ultimate soldier.
Oh, sorry. It says 2 hours ago.
Oh, well, it must be a clip down one then. The one that was. That's okay. Go ahead and play it. And maybe it's got most of the stuff in it.
No, I want the real deal.
Because I've got there's one that I've got that's 3 minutes 30.
Let's do yours then. Let's screw.
Okay, here
screw
I can just share it here.
Screw your trailer. That was a deep cut.
This one's got a lot of member berries in it. So here we'll. Oh no. Let me share it. Okay, good.
Did you know I thought it was gonna. Professor.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Screw your trailers.
Oh no, I don't.
Screw your freedom, wasn't there?
Oh, screw. Okay, yeah, yeah, okay.
It was such a dumb, it didn't even belong, and it was such a random reference. But yeah, let's see it. Okay.
So yeah, I got to be honest, not super excited about this film. From a number of different points. For one, I didn't really like Tron Legacy all that much. It was all right, but I didn't think it was like revolutionary or anything. I didn't think it was amazing. And then this one is kind of like, it doesn't feel like they're carrying on the story that was left open at the end of the last movie. It feels like they're kind of taking a whole new direction. And so it feels kind of weird. But anyway, we'll watch.
How'd you do it? It's all in the rest.
The grid. A digital frontier. A world I thought I'd never see. And then, one day, I got in. There are these disc battles fought in spectacular arenas. Cycles have raced on ribbons of light. And the world was more beautiful than I ever dreamed. Well, more dangerous than I ever imagined. And one day, those worlds will come to ours.
So much talk of AI and big tech today. Virtual worlds, what are they going to look like when we get there? Well, folks, we're not going there. They are coming here. I would like you to meet Ares.
What did you make of it? Up there. Greetings, program. Our worlds are more connected than anyone knows.
You think you're in control of this? You're not.
My world is coming to destroy yours. You're running out of time, but I can help you.
Loading, loading.
Yeah. So what do you think, Bryce?
It looks okay. I mean, the thing is that it seemingly is trying to show that it's going to have something to do with Legacy and with the original, which I don't have an issue with, but I don't know. I mean, I know you said you didn't love Legacy, but I didn't hate Legacy. Like, I agree with you. It's not. I'm not saying it was the best movie, but I still found it rather enjoyable. I think the first one is more of an iconic classic, whereas Legacy was just kind of okay. But I was really looking forward to whatever they were doing with that story. When that movie ended, when Legacy ended, I thought, okay, well, the next chapter, they really have a lot of interesting things to explore. I was really looking forward to it. I didn't mind the actor. I didn't mind Olivia Wilde. You know, especially this is a youthful. First of all, she still looks pretty today, but I'm just saying, Olivia Wilde looked very nice in that movie, and that guy, I think Gareth Hedlund or whatever his name is, I thought he was fine.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges. I think there was something to explore. I wanted to see where they were going with that. And instead of making another movie, they waited like a million years and they brought Jared Leto. And it's like, ugh. Like, you were already kind of just doing okay with that Legacy one, or doing. I didn't hate it, but you know what I'm trying to say. So you needed to improve on Legacy, but that doesn't mean you couldn't have used that cast or maybe made it sooner. I don't know how I feel about Jared Leto.
Oh, I know exactly how I feel about Jared Leto.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know a project he's been attached to that he hasn't ruined yet. I mean, seriously, I do not understand how he still gets work. I really don't.
He peaked at Requiem for a Dream. Yeah, he was good in that one.
Okay, all right.
In that movie that they're buying drugs and he's like a drag queen or something. I don't know what. I don't remember.
Yeah,
now.
okay. It's
fine.
Weird,
whatever.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah, weird characters.
Yeah. So Adam Gray says, remember when Jeff Bridges' face was attached to his real body in movies? Yeah, that happened at one point. I'm not sure when, but it did happen in the past. I think Was it the last time was when he played the dude? Maybe that was the
Why?
last time.
You think that his head wasn't attached to his body here?
Well, in the one shot they showed here, at least it looked like it actually was him as an actor in the flesh playing the character. But throughout the previous film, uh, there was that weird like skinwalker version of him wandering around. That was so creepy. That was one of the things that really took me out of the movie every time. They showed his little, his digital duplicate version of himself that he created that was supposed to still have his face from, the 1980s. Like I
Right.
can't even remember his name, but that was always Clue. That was it. Yeah. Oh, whenever they showed him, it's like, oh, good Lord, stop it. But
You know
yeah,
what? In Legacy, though, it was at the forefront of that technology of trying to
it
de-age somebody.
was the de-aging and trying to recreate older,
Nobody was
younger
even really
characters.
attempting to do that. It was almost not even being attempted. I appreciate the ambition that went into that movie. I thought that the music sounded pretty interesting. There was some visuals that I liked. It was more of a movie that I liked the atmosphere of Legacy. But when you kind of, if you want to nitpick the plot itself, yeah, probably could have been better than it was. But because of the visuals, the acting, the music, there was something about it that I still felt positive about. Even I didn't walk out saying it's the best thing ever, but I felt okay. Like they had to restart this franchise. I didn't think it was a humiliating or embarrassment or anything. I thought, okay, this is a good start or a decent start. Let's see what they do. And then they did nothing. So and Jared Leto, whatever his name is, I think that his best roles are ones that he's kind of, like you said, weird. There was a movie a few years ago. It actually was surprisingly not a very good movie with Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. And Jared Leto in that movie played, I believe, a serial killer or something like that. And each time, like they talk to
Okay.
him, he's supposed to be like a complete wacko and weirdo. I thought that was a role that actually suited him, meaning that's probably the type of roles that he should be doing. Strange serial killer that's kind of weirdo. That I think I could believe it. When I watched it, I'm like, okay, I believe this.
Yeah. So maybe he's going to be some sort of weird robotic, half
Yeah, I
man,
don't
half
know, but
digital
that's the
thing
thing.
here. And
The weird
I don't know.
robotic is not the same thing as like a deranged serial killer.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I thought that this trailer was better than some of the stuff we've gotten up till now. I still don't know that this is something that I'm rushing out to the theaters to go
Well,
see.
I have to review something, so I'm obviously
Yeah,
going to be
yeah,
there
yeah.
opening night. I'll sit there and watch it, good or bad, rain or shine,
Yeah.
whatever it
Well,
is. I'll
you'll
be
have
there.
to report back and let me know if this is worth
I'm like
seeing.
Mbappe. I will be there no matter what. There's like a meme with him, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever seen that meme.
Yeah, I think I have.
Like something happens and then they put the meme. I guess he said it. He said, "I will be there no matter what." And the thing that's funny is, I think that he said that about a situation. He actually ended up not being there. I don't think anybody even remembers that, but I feel like he said he would be somewhere. Like he said, I I could be completely wrong, but I feel like he was supposed to play for one team, but he got traded to another team. And maybe when when the press asked him, he made it seem like he was going to be on the first team, the one that ended up trading him, and he said like, "I will be there no matter what." And it's like you probably weren't there at the end, but I could be completely wrong. This happened a while ago. I know there's a meme at least. I remember the meme and not even the incident. And I don't assume anybody in the chat will know, because who are we kidding? Nobody in the chat watches soccer. In any case, yeah, they've been saying stuff about Tylenol. I don't really know. Adam Gray says Leto is Zendaya with a smaller peen. Yeah, that's probably
Could
true.
could be.
I
Oh,
can
have
accept
you have you seen this trend, Price? This is apparently a thing. This is a trend now.
What is
Naked
it?
dressing. Apparently this is now all the rage, especially when it comes to Hollywood women showing up at various different red carpet events. So we've got Margot Robbie showing us all her ass through her dress, and yeah, a little bit more of that. They're showing us a little bit more on the front. Apparently, wearing actual clothing is gauche now. So yeah, we've got that. And then who's the other one here?
Well, better her than
Yeah.
Lizzo. What am I going to tell you?
Yeah. Well, you know, at least she's got on underwear.
That's true.
But yeah, well, you know, at some point you just got to ask, like, what's the point, right? You know, just you could just be like, what was it? Oh, I forget who it was. It was someone's girlfriend that showed up basically just nude. Like they were
Well,
just like in a body stock.
I think Kanye's wife
it
or
was
something.
yes, it was Kanye's wife. Yeah, that's what it was.
I mean, I think that the reason why we're seeing this is that this is just my 2 cents here, is that suddenly the actresses like these ladies see the attention that Sydney Sweeney gets when she walks around and looks nice. Now they're all like, "What if we were naked?" It's like, ladies, you
What if
were
we showed it all
picketing.
off? Will I get more attention?
Yeah, I mean, weren't you like picketing about feminism and stuff, like radical feminism about 5 minutes ago?
Yeah, you don't objectify us, but we're gonna
Don't
show up on the red
objectify. We're
carpet
not
showing off our asses, and
you want us just to
yeah.
show our tits and ass, all that bullshit. And now suddenly, yeah. And yeah, people agree with me. At least it's better than Lizzo, because throughout the years, Lizzo has sometimes done that where she like also wants to wear this kind of revealing thing, and I'm like, listen, lady, you don't need to reveal all that much. And again, for everybody that's saying, "Oh, what would you do? Let's see you." I wouldn't walk around with a fishnet underwear thing or whatever she does. If you're it's like, when I walk around, you probably won't see me out in public like without my shirt on every second. Maybe not even at all. Can't remember the last time that I was like out in public without my shirt on. You know why? Because there's no reason for it, Professor. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
if
gotcha.
if I like was one of those people that I'm at the gym all day and there's like this 12 pack or whatever it's called, and like every muscle is like this very impressive thing, then you want to walk around, I guess, without your shirt on. If you're just some average guy, you're not going to do that. And that's why Lizzo has no business like, wearing that kind of weird shit. Sorry, Sean.
But body positivity. Body positivity. You're supposed to look at someone who looks absolutely hideous and say good for them because they are proud of being super overweight and ugly. So you're supposed to cheer them on, Price.
Absolutely. And speaking of cheering on, I think now is a good time. We can try to find out who was here. And
yeah, well, we're not gonna be able to do everyone who was here over on Rumble. There's way too many people have joined us over there tonight. But we can shout out a few of our regular names over there, Price, if you just kind of want to look through the chat and find some, and I will compile our names from over on YouTube.
All right. Well, let me see for a second. I'm going to try my best. I know I saw Elizabeth Quinn's. Let me go over there for a second. Maybe I can look at it. First of all, we have some people that are members, but Elizabeth Quinn's, she said that hubby's never been in public without his shirt. Took his turning 50 to take trash out in his undershirt. Interesting. Starch 3, Medding, Dude Bro Seth, Pure Blood Based Berserker, Phantomunk, Freedom Sphere, Empress NM, and Honestly, Darren Mai, Greg Hume 121. I don't know.
Yeah, we had a few other regulars that I saw around earlier tonight. I saw Kivo 1961 was here with us. Sal the Hamster, Of course, Phantom Monk helping us mod out there along with this Phobos, Empress NM, Double R Star, Dubros F420. You mentioned Elizabeth Quince. Yeah, we had some of our regulars here along with some regulars joining us too. We had some others who were hanging out with us tonight, like Darren Mai, Medding, and then we had some super chats and we got some memberships that were given out. So that was really kind. I appreciate that. And then over on YouTube, we had let's see, Tex Rogers, Yitis, The Dead Man, Backyard TARDIS, Zunar J5, Beep Bop Boop, Ams S, Tomahawk 511, Jonathan Conroy, is Phobos, Drew Gordon, Marks 47, Skeleton VA, the real Sean Crummell. He was here with us for a few minutes, at least in the chat. So, and always with us in spirit, Sean. We do enjoy when you can come and hang out with us. Adam Gray, Trust No One, 754, Read by Nature, Jason Webster, James Caserta, Darren M, Air Cole DiStefano, Ghost Fixter, Tim Hayes, Samsung, Glade Riven is Dangerously Sober, Keely Chow, Lasher, Stephen Mack, Caleb Levine, Dustin Channels, Clay Thomason, Isaac 556X45. So if I did miss anybody, sorry. It was chat was a little bit hectic tonight on Rumble and going back and forth between that and YouTube. So tried to get everybody, but if I did miss somebody, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And it's great
and
to
we'll
see
try
all of you
to
here.
figure it out next time. But
Yep.
yeah, we always try our best. But yeah, there was a
Well,
lot.
we got us a little help over on Rumble to try and keep things keep things in
Absolutely.
order.
Thank
keep
you.
things
Thank you
simple.
to Phantom Monk, and thank you to Isophobos for helping us out with that. It looked like it was developing into a real strange situation.
Yeah.
And I guess now that we've gone over all of that and we've done our strange
I'm
screen.
sorry. I missed. Yeah, I see you there.
Oh,
I
okay.
missed you. So yeah.
And Lasher. Did we say Lasher? I don't even know.
Got
But
Lasher. Yeah.
in any
Read by
case,
Nature got you too. Amelia Bedelia is here. Yeah, good to see you, Amelia.
Also, make sure to follow B-roll.
Yeah. Come over B-roll stage. Again, that's both on Rumble and over
You can
on
drop a
YouTube.
link if you want.
Yeah, if Adam can do that over in the YouTube chat, and then I can share things over on Rumble as well. But yeah, 9 p.m. Eastern, B-roll stage Friday evenings. We will be doing the B-sides, watching a film, little live riffing, little fun, some shorts, maybe some games, just hanging out and having a little fun, little decompression at the end of the week, right? Always enjoyable to do that. So yeah, there's Adam's got the chats up there for YouTube, and I'll share this one and move this one over to Rumble here.
Thanks, Jason Webster. You stay healthy and safe as well.
Yeah. So yeah, you can join us over on B-roll stage for B-sides on Friday evenings, and we'll be back here on Tuesday night. At least I assume we will be, Price. The world has many surprises for us, but I expect we'll be back here on Tuesday and Thursday evenings
at 11:45
at
p.m.
11:45 Eastern, 10:45 Central. We'll be back here talking about whatever we've got in the news, talking about news, entertainment, a bit of politics here and there.
We forgot to tell people, if you're on Rumble and you're watching through the app and haven't yet signed up, you should definitely do that. And then you should follow us because that's just the right thing to do. And you should like and follow and all that stuff. And then on any other platform, you should also like and subscribe. You should do that right now. It's the most important thing to do at this very moment. And that's it. that was my last minute pitch before we head out.
Oh boy. And Adam says that we'll be doing the film Beyond Atlantis tomorrow, which that's a movie.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
That's gonna be fun. Or not.
Don't think I am.
Yeah. Yep. But that's awesome. Yeah, it's great seeing everyone here tonight. Awesome seeing so many people joining us in the chat on both YouTube and on Rumble. Hopefully, we get you'll follow, subscribe, be back here with us on Tuesday and Thursday evenings. Anything else, Bryce?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Have a great evening.
Bye.